How do you spend the majority of your time? And who do you spend it with? Once I started to give weight to the answers of those questions, my life changed forever. My name is Brad Hussey, and a few years ago my boss jokingly said to my wife, "I spend more waking hours with your husband than you do." I did the math, and he was right. I did spend more time with my boss, not my wife, the person I can't live without. Why? That's a big question, but most of us don't bother to ask it because we think the obvious answer is money. But at what point does the lure of a paycheck override our freedom and ultimately our happiness? The more questions I asked, the more I realized I needed to make a fundamental shift in my life. Why do I spend most of my time at work? Why am I building somebody else's business? Why do I have to be away from Laura? Can it be different? I made it my mission to make the answer, yes, it can be different. From that moment forward, everything I did was a step in the direction of me being free, so I could take back my time and build a business that not only provided for my family, but ignited passion within me. The freedom I experienced in my first year of freelancing was amazing, breathtaking even. I literally thought that I cheated the system and found some secret to life that nobody else knew about. I've been able to continue that momentum and grow my business to the point where I know I'll never go back to the way it was before. It's the ultimate freedom, and I want you to have the same. Hey everybody, how's it going? Let me know if you could see and hear me. Welcome to a beautiful brand new start to the week, Monday. I am excited for this. We got people on Facebook. How's it going, everybody? We got people on YouTube. I see you guys. How's it going? And then my faves, we got people here on Crowdcast. I'm excited to have everybody here. Welcome. Again, just to make sure that we get started on the right foot, make sure that you can see and hear me. Let me know in the comments. I'm watching all the comments. It looks like we have people. Let's see. I want to give a shout out to Ben. First one here. Can't wait. Eileen, how are you doing? We got Heinrich. How's it going? Bruce, Jeet. We got T is for Traveler. That's a cool name. Alejandro. We got Shad. Cool, cool. Let me know where everybody's from. Let me see. We got people. Awesome. Cosmin on Facebook. We got Kara. Dahana. Hope I'm getting everyone's name right. This is exciting. Hello, everybody. Hey, Alea. Hey, Aaron. Good to see you guys. Let me see. While you guys are rolling in here, we got people rolling in. Let me know where you're from and where you're watching in from. This is a live stream, and I want to let you know a few things about how this is going to go down and how this is going to work so that we... Matt says, this time I have an IPA ready. I love it. I love it. I'm going to let you know how this works. For anyone who has not been to one of my live streams, my live webinars, workshops, Crowdcasts, I'm going to let you know how this works. Here on Crowdcast, I'm specifically talking to you guys. How this works is right below my face here. There's going to be a Ask a Question tab and a Poll tab. I have a couple things there I want you guys to check out. So if you have any questions at any point during the webinar, I want you to throw your questions in there. Now, if you're on Facebook or YouTube, throw them in the comments. We'll do our best to monitor them. But in Crowdcast, you can add them there. And the reason why I want you to do that is there's a slight delay on this live stream. So when I'm talking about something, you start asking questions, I don't see it until a bit later. So throw them in the Ask a Question tab. I will have a live Q&A session at the end of this training webinar. And I'm going to answer as many questions as possible, rapid fire style. So if you have any questions at all about anything, freelancing, the course I'm going to talk about later, the training, any of the pieces of the webinar, throw them in there. Also a polls tab. I like to know who is here, and this gives me a good representation of who's here. So I can see, I asked, what's your craft? We got 74% web developers. Not surprised. We got web designers in the house as well. What's your goal as a freelancer? overwhelming majority of you, 70% said you want to replace your income and go full time. And then we got 31% are saying you want to make some side cash. So most of us here are looking to really kick it up a notch. But then we got a few others who want to just kind of, get their feet wet. Good news, you're in the right place. The information in this webinar, the challenge I'm gonna put in front of you in just a few moments here, these are the steps you need to take to go full time, so that you can replace your full-time income and start freelancing and have that be your primary business. So I'm really excited to do that. Let me see a couple more questions here. What is your biggest roadblock as a freelancer? We have 40% of you saying finding and booking consistent clients is what's really holding you back. We got some marketing issues. You feel like you don't have the skills, some introverts. Pricing is something that's an issue for you, but most of you are saying finding and booking consistent clients. If you could find and book consistent clients, then we understand we can make regular income as a freelancer, start transitioning away from our day job, and take back our time and freedom so that we can run our own business. That's why we're here. Cool. Let's see. We got Aaron, Deb, Jeet. Let me see. Disa says, still loading the video stream. If anyone has any tech issues, hit refresh and you won't lose your place. Alea is here. Alea is my online business manager, and she's going to help you out in the comments as well. So everyone say hello. I always do that. Say hi to Alea. Say hi to Alea. She's there, and she's going to help you out. And she'll help you out with any links. So if you're in Crowdcast and you're having an issue, we could send you over to YouTube or Facebook. But hit refresh, you won't lose your place. Chrome is the best browser for this. So keep that in mind. There will also be a replay only available today. So let's see. Heinrich watching from South Africa. That's cool. I love it. Venezuela. Alejandro. Hola. Shad. Let me see. Mariella, you're loading. No problem. Again, refresh if you're having any tech issues. We're live, so things are going to, sometimes things go wrong. It's how it works. Oh, cool. We got someone from India. That's cool. We got James from Idaho. Love it. It's going to be in Idaho later this month, actually. I'm going to go to Boise for the Craft and Commerce conference, so that'll be cool. Aaron, rapid fire like Nerf. Love Nerf. Bruce is from Utah in the USA. Cool. Disa, I'm about to, let me see. Disa, if you're having any issues, make sure you watch the replay. You can also send, maybe Alea, you can send Disa over to YouTube. Maybe she won't have as many tech issues. Matt, it has to be your connection works fine here in the US. Cool. Waves to everyone. Alea's saying hi. Cool. All right. So that said, we know about the question and the polls and everything like that. Let me just make sure we have everything running here. Cool. Okay. So I want to let you know a couple things. The webinar here is going to be about 2 to 2.5 hours. I know that sounds like a long time, but I promise you, some of the people here who actually came to the last one, they actually said when 2.5 hours went by, they said, "What? Has it been 2.5 hours? It hasn't felt like it." There's going to be a ton of value in here. So there's going to be a replay if you can't stick around the whole time, today only. But we're gonna go in deep. That said, there's a ton of actionable content. So I strongly recommend, if you want to keep this information on hand, grab a notepad and a pen and write things down, because there's going to be a ton of noteworthy content here. Now, to be transparent, 95% of this workshop is completely educational, training based education. You're going to get a ton of free value out of this. With that said, though, at the end, I want to take a few minutes to let you know about Freelancing Freedom Masterclass. Now, we've probably all heard of Freelancing Freedom Masterclass at this point. So I want to let you know about that later. So I like to ask a couple things. One, do I have your permission to let you know about that later? I know this is my webinar and I could do whatever the heck I want, but I don't want to surprise anyone. This is my business, so I'm here to help you as much as I possibly can. And if you feel I can help you more, I want to let you know about the masterclass. So do I have your permission to let you know about that later? Only after I blow your minds with some free value and get some of you clients. Cool. I'm going to let those comments roll in because, again, there's a delay. But I can already see people are... Throw me those thumbs up. Okay. With that said, I want to give you 3 promises. 3. I kind of threw a weird hand at you there. 3 promises. I appreciate and respect that although this is a free workshop, you are committing time, valuable time to be here to watch me live. And this is why I want to make 3 promises to you. So the first promise is I promise to deliver at least 10 times the value of your time during this workshop. The learning lessons, information, action items you're going to receive in the next 90 minutes. Sorry, not 90 minutes. I often say that because my webinars are 90 minutes, but this one's way longer. The next 2.5 hours is going to be worth at least 10 times the value of the time you invested here. So that is my promise number 1, 10 times the value of your time. Promise number 2 is I promise to push you way beyond what you believe are your limits. I'm going to reveal to you that you are much more capable to start freelancing today, Monday, June 11th, than you ever realized. I'm going to start some of your freelance businesses today. And promise number 3, I promise to help most of you who are willing to start your freelance business today. In fact, if you are willing to be challenged before the end of this workshop, I'm going to attempt, like a magician, to get some of you not only leads, but possibly a client. I can say that because I've done it before in the past. In fact, in the last webinar, a handful of people walked away from just the free webinar with actual clients and leads. All right. Does this sound acceptable to you? My 3 promises. I'm going to deliver on these 3 promises. Does this sound good? We got people saying yes, yes, thumbs up. Aaron, no, Brad, don't help us become badass freelancers. Cool. You guys are in. I am very excited. So with that said, folks, I am going to jump us in to our first piece of the webinar. So let's do this. Okay, so the very reason I want to share this webinar with you and do this live training with you is because I feel like I've cracked the code to freelancing. Pun totally intended for you web developers out there. Here's the deal. When I started out, for a good couple years, I used to hope for new clients. So I used to use a strategy called hope marketing, not a real strategy, which basically means you just sit around and hope you're going to get clients. I'm going to tell you now that it's not a sustainable strategy. You might luck out, but it's not how you should build a business. No other normal business owner with a head on their shoulders does that. You shouldn't do it either. So then I discovered how to consistently attract new leads, so I no longer had to hope for clients. I would expect them. I also saw a pattern in my inconsistent income, but then I found a way to smooth that out. I also realized that I was doing the whole thing wrong the whole time. Everything from the way I marketed or didn't market, from the way I booked projects, from the way I managed projects, from the way I managed my time, from the way I priced my projects and proposed things, everything top to bottom, inside out. I was just kind of winging it. But then I changed the way I did everything. So now I can turn away clients. In fact, that's mostly what I do. I only work with the clients I want to work with. I also earn predictable and growing income as a result by automatically attracting consistent, targeted leads that convert to customers and clients. And now I get to enjoy the freedom of freelancing and being self-employed, running my own business, but with the predictability of the so-called normal job. So today, I want to tell you the 8 steps to getting fully booked as a freelancer. So let's go through this list really quickly, and then we'll just jump straight in. The first one is how can you start today with the tools and the skills that you have at this very moment. Number 2 is, what does your client actually need? Not what they want or you think they want. Number 3 is how to be world class in one thing and stop sucking at everything else. Number 4 is the BBQ Method. I call it the BBQ Method for lasting client work. Number 5, the stupid simple pricing strategy to increase your rates and make more profit from your clients. Number 6 is how to build a bridge. That's another term that I think I came up with. I like using it anyway, for income stability and hypergrowth. And number 7 is the E.D.A formula. I'll tell you what that is later. For scaling your freelance business 2 times, 3 times, or more. And number 8, finally, is the secret to keep the fire lit under your arse. For everlasting passion for what you do. So with that said, let's jump right in with step number 1. How do you start today? Like right now? Well, let me address something important. There are 3 major roadblocks that prevent freelancers from getting started. Number 1, it's their mindset. They believe that they are not good enough. They're not worthy of doing it. They're not worthy of starting yet. Number 2 is time. They feel like they don't have enough time. And number 3 is skills. They worry the skills that they have or don't have are not worth charging for, that they're going to be fraudulent. In summary, they are afraid that they are going to flip and fail. So, let's crush all 3 of those roadblocks right now. I'm going to hold your hand. We're all going to hold hands here, and we're going to crush all 3 right now. I have a challenge for you right here and right now. Using only the skills, ability, and network you have available to you right now, let's try and get your first lead right now. On your social media tool of choice, whether that's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever, post this. Hey friends, I'm in the early stages of launching my web design business, and I'm looking to build up my client list. If you know of somebody who's in need of a custom website for their small business, would you mind tagging them in this post or introduce them to me in a private message? I have 3 available spots for clients who want my discounted launch rate. Oh, and there's $100 in it for anyone who sends me a paying client. Smiley face, thanks. Now, feel free to modify this message to best suit your voice, your friend list, your offer, your niche, the type of business you're starting up. Maybe you don't want to give $100, maybe it's $50, maybe it's a lunch. Craft it in the way that works best for you. But seriously, post this message to Facebook right now. Don't close out this workshop. Open up a new tab, post it on Facebook. Now, while I can't guarantee you that you will get a client or a lead out of this for that matter, what I will guarantee you is that you won't get a client if you don't try. Now, let me show you that this actually works. This challenge I've been doing for a little while now, for a couple months with my students, and I'm going to show you that they actually get results and they surprise the heck out of themselves. So for example here, Alea, who is actually my assistant and here with us today. She actually sent me a private message and said, just thought I'd share a little success story with you. Shared your challenge in my profile Wednesday, was contacted by a friend for a client they could not take, had a discovery call this morning, and paid by this afternoon. That's how you do it. And in fact, as proof, she shared her invoice, a redacted invoice of her charging for that exact project. Here's that invoice right here. And honestly, this is just one example of the handful of responses of people who've actually sent in and showed that they've done the challenge and received results. Now remember, you're using the strengths and your ability that you have right now, even if they're minimal. If you can build a landing page, throw together a WordPress site, set up domains and hosting, do the technical stuff, design a logo, or set up an email marketing campaign, whatever it is, use the strengths available to you and offer that. Yes, it's scary, and it's challenging, and it's crazy. And you might ask, well, what if it doesn't work, Brad? To which I will ask, well, what if it does work? You could have your first lead before we even finish this workshop. How's that for delivering value? The main difference between successful people and everyone else, well, it's their mindset, the story they tell themselves in their heads every single day. Most people, they live in fear and they have a scarcity mindset because they are afraid they're going to run out of money, or that the worst is going to happen, or that they're going to run out of time, that they're not good enough to try something different. So they give up, they get back in line, and they stop thinking big because, well, you're going to fail because everyone else fails. And those people who don't fail, well, they're special and you're not special. If that's the story you believe, then that's how you're going to stay. So when does that change happen? Well, the change happens when the pain of staying put is greater than the pain of changing your life. When you tell yourself, I am good enough. I have more than enough. I can do that thing. I can learn that thing. I am successful. I'm awesome, and nobody can stop me but myself. Once you tell yourself that you are the person you desire to be, well, your story changes. If you believe that, and you believe that you are that successful person, so what's your next step? What do you do now that you're successful? When you change your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to freedom, dare I say, you are freaking unstoppable. Maybe you're thinking to yourself, this mindset stuff just feels silly or fluffy. But I challenge you to try and change that feeling. Because here's the reality. Every choice that's ever happened, every action that has ever happened, every achievement that has ever been achieved begins as an idea, a thought, a story in your head. So if you change the story you tell yourself, you'll begin to change your actions. If you believe you're a failure, you will move forward and take steps as a failure. If you believe you are a success, that you're going to win, that you're going to make progress, that's going to change the way you move forward. So you change the story, you'll change your actions, and ultimately, you'll change the outcome of your efforts. The next roadblock I want to talk about is time. Everyone on the planet gets the same hours in the day. So how is it that some people become so successful? They get more done. They seem so much more productive. They make way more money when they get the same hours in the day as everyone else. It's prioritization. Deciding what is important to focus on and what is important to let go. Certain sacrifices must be made. You need to decide what to sacrifice. So here's how you do that in regards to time. How do you find out if you have any more time? The hint is you do have more time. You might have a lot more time and you don't even realize it, or you might have a little bit of time and you can optimize either one. Here's how you do it. You journal and audit how you spend each hour of the day, every day of the week, for about 1 week. That's an exercise I want you to try. Every day of the week, every hour, write down, bullet point, really quick, what you did. What did you do? When did you wake up? What did you do in that hour? What did you do at 10? What did you do at 11? Take stock of how you spend the hours that you never get back. Then, you're going to start to see some really interesting things. You're going to see how you spend your time and how you waste your time. So what I want you to do with that is optimize your schedule in order to prioritize building your business. So check this out. Here's just like a really quick dummy schedule before prioritization from 9 through 12. We say 9 p.m. to 10, we're watching Netflix. 10 p.m. to 11, we're watching Netflix. 11 o'clock and after and beyond, we're sleeping. So this is before prioritization. We're just writing down, what did I do between 9 and 11? Oh, I was watching Netflix. And then I went to bed at 11. Okay, that's what I did. Do that for every hour of the day. Now, after prioritization, here's what it could look like. Okay, I realize I'm spending a lot of time watching Netflix. Maybe I could trim that down. Let's spend an hour or two with my wife, with my spouse. Meaningful time, whether that is watching Netflix, building something together, or whatever you guys want to do together. I'll leave that up to your own imagination. 10 p.m., 11 p.m., we say we're dedicating to working on our business. And then we go to bed just 1 hour later. Maybe we wake up an hour earlier. This is just a little sample of how you can prioritize your schedule only after you audit and optimize it. So the next roadblock is skills. Now, what skills do you need to be successful as a freelancer? Here's the secret. You already have them in your arsenal. You already own those skills. So in the live chat, I want you right now, share with us all, what are your strengths? What are you great at? What is your thing? What makes you amazing? Go ahead and share that in the live chat. Just fill that feed up, light it on fire, and let everyone know what you are good at. Every successful freelancer knows their strengths. Then they leverage those skills to their full capacity. So that's the difference between just an ordinary freelancer and someone who's successful at it. You know your strengths, but you leverage them to their full capacity. So you build your business. The core of your business is built solely around your strengths that you already have, that you are good at, the thing that makes you amazing. Your business is built around that. If you want to be a leader, the leader doesn't lead with their weakness. They lead with their strength. That's what you're trying to do here. So speaking of weakness, what about your weaknesses? What about the weaknesses of the freelancer who is building a business around their strengths? What about the things that they just simply suck at? Well, if there's something that they need to learn and figure out how to do on the fly, if they need to design something really quick or code something up really quick and they don't have time and the turnaround time is 24 hours, yada, 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 here's what they do. They focus on what matters at the moment, the 20% that achieves 80% of the results. If they need to design something really quick, if you're a coder and you have a little bit of Photoshop skills, just do the thing that gets you the result. Don't go off and try and master Photoshop. If you're coding something and you come across a problem and you need to figure something out quickly, do the thing that gets you the minimum viable result, the thing that gets you 20% that gets you 80% of the results. Don't try and master PHP because you need to learn how to write a simple include statement. You catch what I'm saying here? Build your business around your strengths and figure out the rest as you go. Now I'm going to show you a lot more about how you can optimize your business so that you can scale up and grow even if you're not mastering all the other skills that are out there. So don't worry about that right now. Focus on this. Build your business around your strengths and figure out the rest as you go. Okay, that's awesome. So step number 1, we broke it down into 3 parts. How do you start today? Most people don't start because they're afraid. And there are those 3 major roadblocks that hold them back. I see patterns all the time, and it's always the same thing. It always comes down to time, mindset, and your skills. You don't have enough time. I don't have enough time. I'm busy. I have kids. I'm in school. I have a job. Blah, 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 blah. All this is you throwing excuses at me. Everybody's busy. Everybody's important. Everybody has someone who relies on them. Everybody has a dependent of some sort. Everybody has either a job or school or some other time commitments. Everybody likes to spend time doing things they love doing, entertaining themselves, hanging out with people, going to an event or something. Everybody has time. The only difference is that some people have a little less time than others. So what that means is if you have a lot of time, then you have no excuse. You should be finding that time, auditing your week and optimizing it to focus on changing your circumstances. If you have a little bit of time, it's there. You're not booked 24 hours. Of course you have to sleep. Of course you have to do things like spend time with your children, go to your job, don't get fired, all these things. What you need to do, your job is harder, but more important, because what you need to do is then find those pockets of time and squeeze out the minutes that count. And you have this, you have your head. Even if you're working, if you're on the bus, if you're transiting, if you're driving, you're thinking about stuff. Instead of maybe thinking about, I don't know, what show is on tonight or, what you should make for supper. Think about your business. Read a book, listen to an audiobook. Think about your business. Thinking about how you want to start. Think about who you can talk to let them know about your business. Think about what your site might look like. Think about your offer. Think about the services, your skills. You can always have this. It's always running in the background. So use that to your advantage as well. Find the pockets of time that you could squeeze out and then take action on those thoughts, which also brings me to mindset. Anyone who thinks that that's fluff and mumbo jumbo, well, ask anyone who's successful at anything. In relationships, in love, with money and finances, business, with happiness. It all starts in your head. This little thing that we're all addicted to didn't start just because it just happened out of randomness. It happened because Steve Jobs had a thought and thought, I think this is a good idea. Here's why. And that thought began to materialize into something real that changed the world. Not because of magic or any sort of secret, but because the thought happened and then it started to turn into physical action. It started to materialize because he shared that thought. He took action on that thought and built it into something. So mindset is huge. So if you're telling yourself, I'm not very good, I suck, I'm going to wait until this happens, I'm going to wait till I have time, it's never going to happen. If you feel like you're a failure, if you think you're a failure, well, you're just telling your actions to act as if you are a failure. if you are moving forward, telling yourself, I've got this. I am strong at this. I'm great at this. You guys are saying you guys are, you got a lot of good web developers in the house. We got some good designers. Aaron says he sucks at JavaScript, but he's a great brand identity designer. We've got people like Rochelle, who says, I can work with almost anyone. Good communication skills. I'm an amazing brand identity designer, communicating with clients. These are your strengths. This is what you're going to lead with. This is what makes you unique and what you're going to move forward with building your business. Tell yourself up here that you can do it, believe it, and move forward as if you were already succeeding. That is the biggest hurdle. Time, everybody's got some sort of time. You just have to juggle it and optimize it. I showed you how to do it. And then skills. We all have our own strengths. So with that said, I wanted to get that out of the way because it's the most important thing. If you leave now and if that sticks with you, then you're already majorly ahead than you were before you even came here. But I have a ton more for you. So with that said, I want to jump in to part number 2. Let's do this. All right, step number 2 is what your client actually needs, not what they think they want or you think they want. Now I'm going to come right out and say it. Your client does not need a website. This is a common misunderstanding made by freelancers, new and experienced. Your client is hiring you because, whether they realize it or not, they have a problem that they need solved. It's your job to provide a solution, a way to ease the pain, not just a website or a logo or a graphic design. Understand this key thing, and you are already leagues ahead of your competition before you even start freelancing. Of course, you are a web developer, you are a web designer, and you have valuable skills. But ask yourself this. Would you hire a plumber based on the tools he uses? No way. You hire him because he's solving a big, potentially smelly problem that you cannot do yourself. So, what does your client need? You can make certain assumptions. They need more clients, leads, revenue, sales, patience, whatever it is. But it's your job to actually find out what your client needs. So how do you do that? You ask them. You set up a meeting with them. In your initial client meeting, your kickoff meeting, or maybe your meeting before you actually sign any contracts to see if you guys are a fit. Ask them, how can I help you? What is it that you need solved in more or less words? And they might tell you, well, we need a nice, pretty website because our competition down the road has a nice, pretty website. So they're telling you they need a nice, pretty website. Now, you could take that at face value and say, okay, they need a nice, pretty website, and then go off and build a nice, pretty website and think you've succeeded. That's not what they need. Dig deeper. Oh, so your client down the road has a nice website. What about their website do you find makes you uncomfortable? Why is it that you feel you need a new website? Well, because they're taking our customers away. Oh, now we're getting somewhere. Your client fears or is experiencing less revenue, less customers, strong competition from a marketing savvy business competitor down the road. And they want to win. All right, now you're getting somewhere. So you keep asking them what they need in more or less words until you find out what is truly causing them pain. Then ask yourself, can you build a solution that eliminates their pain? If you know what that problem is, if you know what that pain is, if you can feel that pain with them and you could figure out a way to solve it, they will book you over and over and over again. You will have a customer for life and you will have a referral source that is equal to a gold mine. Your client doesn't need a website. What they need is a problem solver, and you are going to solve their problems. They might not even know what their problems are until you dig deep and find out. Then build a solution that solves the problem. Make sense? That's it for step number 2. What do we think about step number 2? Short and sweet, but I wanted to kind of drive the point home quickly because most of us here, web developers, even web designers, people who have technical and creative background, and they start their freelance business and they get clients, they think that it's sorry, I lost my train of thought and I think I froze here. Most of us think that we need to build them a website or a logo, design a logo. And I was guilty of that too at the very beginning. I thought, well, I'm a good web designer. I'm really good at HTML. I'm good at JavaScript. I don't know. I'm really good at like making those things. And my clients should know that. My clients should know that I'm really good at these technical skills. And maybe they'll hire me just because I'm really talented at those skills. The reality is that your clients don't care about your skills. I use that example. Hiring a plumber. You don't hire them because of their wrench. You hire them because they're going to solve a smelly problem. You don't hire a contractor to build a fence because he has a really good table saw. You're hiring him because he's going to surround your property with a fence that you need to keep the animals out and your children in. So for you, if you're going forward and moving forward with your skills and you're promoting yourself in your portfolio and you're telling people I'm really good at HTML, I'm really good at Python, I'm really good at whatever programming language, trendy new programming language of the week is or framework, you might as well just go get a job because the only people who actually care about the skills that you are talking about are employers because they're looking for people who can fill a specific role and build their business. I need someone who's really good at JavaScript. Who's the best JavaScript person? And then all the JavaScript people say, me, 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 me. And then they just get to pick the best one. But that's not what I'm trying to teach here. You got to pick yourself. So, and I didn't make that saying up. That's Seth Godin. Seth Godin is all about pick yourself. Stop waiting for someone to pick you and pick yourself, which is why I teach people how to freelance and start their own businesses. Take the skills that you have, understand your client, and build. The skills are important. You got to build your business around your skills so that you know, okay, I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this. So other people are going to help me do that. And we'll get into that in step number 7. But focus on your skills and your strengths. Build your business around that and understand who your client is, the problem they experience so that you can come up with a solution based on what you have to offer. Not, I'm really good at HTML. Do you want a website? They don't care. That doesn't matter. Let's see, Aaron says, even if you personally can't solve the problem but can point them in the right direction, they will hold you in high accord. Totally agreed. Aaron, again, boils down to listening and understanding what the client's actual problem is. Rochelle says, I'm hoping to get your name. Is it Rochelle? Rochelle? Many businesses around here have websites, but they're not responsive. Good. It's a good kind of question to maybe have a little discussion about after. Let me see. Heinrich, totally got to get busy with the website for a client. Cool. Okay. People seem to be connecting with this one. So I want to jump in. I don't want to waste any more time, and I want to go into number 3 because these are all connected. In fact, all the steps are really connected, but I think this next step is going to maybe change the way you think about yourself and how you freelance. So listen up. Okay, step number 3 is how to be world class at one thing and stop sucking at everything. You can't hit a target if you're not aiming at one. So how do you launch and sustain a business if you're not aiming at anything? You see, if you want to get fully booked as a freelancer, which is why you're here, you need a specific target, a niche, a place to direct and aim your efforts. Trying to serve and satisfy everyone, this is a phrase I really like, is like trying to boil the ocean. I don't know if you've ever tried boiling the ocean before, but it's not going to happen. So how do you stand out? Well, for starters, you get real specific at what you do and who you serve, and you ignore everything else. Intimately understand your customer's personality, their pain points, and their desires, what they desire in business and in life. Here's a little tip. If you want to be instantly world class, just create your own category. You will be the only one who does it, and you will be already the best. Now, maybe that's not a viable option right now, but the idea here is you need to stand out. And the less people who are competing with you, the easier it is to be world class. The easier it is to be the best. Here's a common misconception. Some people think when I use the phrase world class, you're thinking you're going to go off and win records and quite literally be recognized as the best of the best in the world. All I'm saying is, in order for you to be the best, you simply need to have a category, so an audience who you serve, and less competition, a way to stand out and ignore everything else. If you're just general and serving everybody, then you are never going to be world class. But if you are specific, you serve a specific audience, you offer a specific service or product, and you really solve the problem, and there aren't a lot of people in that category that you either found, created, or modified, then you are already at the top of your game. So you might ask, how do you choose a niche? Well, there's a simple way. Start with yourself. Can you solve your own problem? Are you a part of a group or a type of a community or a type of business or a category where you already know those problems? Maybe you are in the veterinarian industry and you understand intimately the problems that the vet community experiences. Now, I know these are very specific, but it really doesn't matter. There are communities of these people for a reason. So start with yourself. Come up with a handful of ideas. Don't be afraid. Throw them out there if you want. Anything from new restaurants to fine dining to horse racing to adopting children to churches to high-end boutique hairstylists, whatever it is, musicians, songwriters, actors. There's a lot out there, and we all have our own interests. So come up with a few ideas and just kind of throw them out there. Now here's the deal. Your niche can be broken down into two parts. Who your audience is and what your expertise is. So the audience segment and the expertise segment is what I believe makes up a niche. So here's a couple Venn diagrams I put together to help you maybe understand what you might try and aim for with both. So your audience niche here on the left, you have your interests, things you're passionate about, things you like. So those are your interests. Maybe it's fine dining. Maybe you're a foodie. Maybe you are, you're a fashionista or something. Your interests. And then accessible businesses. So what are businesses that are accessible to you, that maybe you know somebody who works there? Maybe you have a second connection on LinkedIn. Maybe you can walk into the store. Maybe you are a regular at that coffee shop or that hair salon or that restaurant or that doctor's office or whatever. Businesses that are accessible to you. And then businesses with budgets. So a nonprofit might not have the same budget as, say, a high-end restaurant or a law office. So try and combine and find some common ground in between your interests, accessible businesses, and businesses that have budgets. That might be somewhere in that area, in that center, might be your audience niche. And you can try this out for different interests and different businesses. It doesn't have to be one. The next piece is your expertise niche. I broke it up into your power, passion, and profit. It's just a fancy Tony Robbins-esque way of saying your power is what you're good at, so your strengths, what you have right now, your passion, so what you love doing. So you might be really good at something, but maybe you're passionate about another thing that you are quite good at. So think about those things. What are you good at? And now what do you love doing? And then now at the bottom, profit. What of your power and your passion, what of those are profitable? What are those things that people will pay for? Maybe you have a specific skill or passion that can be quite profitable. Somewhere in the crosshairs of all of that is an expertise niche. So a type of offer that you have. So you have your audience and then your strengths, your passions, and the profitable skills you have that make up the core of your business. So this is how I'd like to think that you can workshop some niche ideas. Now, of course, the perfect niche does not happen overnight. So what you should do is experiment with a few things. Throw it all up on the wall and see what sticks. Don't be afraid to try anything and everything at first. I'm not afraid of saying, try it all. Throw it all up on the wall. But then what's going to happen is some of it's going to stick. A lot of it's going to fall off, but some of it's going to stick. And of what is sticking, the stuff that works, that makes money, that's interesting, that keeps coming, that's abundant, that's fruitful, focus on those. Figure out the 20% of what you throw up on the wall that gets you 80% of the results, and then ignore everything else. You can't be the best at everything. You can't serve everyone. And when you stop trying to serve everyone by doing everything, only then can you become world class at your one thing. How are we sounding with this? Step number 3, how to be world class with your one thing. Aaron says it makes sense, but it's definitely difficult to apply in some cases. Definitely agree. Now, I'm not saying you could just come up with a niche and then that's your ticket. That's what's going to get you success. That's what's going to make you money and grow a successful business. The idea is that you have to work towards it. You have to workshop it. You have to cultivate a niche. And that comes with experimentation, communication, talking, building relationships, and just throwing it all up in the wall. So when you start out, it's okay if you just try everything. People who try your method of just leading with your skills, try your method of contacting those specific types of businesses, try your different niche ideas. Try offering certain things, try using different language, different communication tools. Just do everything. Take anything and everything that comes your way so that you can assess what's working for you. So you can say, I really didn't like that type of client, or wow, that client was like a dream client. They were eager to pay. They were willing to pay more, and they really valued my work and gave me a great testimonial. Maybe I should focus in that direction. I like working with that person. So maybe I can use that person as a caricature of what indicates a specific niche. So if you're talking about, if you had one client that worked really well, what is their business? What type of business do they work in? What did you like about them? Why did you like working with them? Come up with a persona so that you could base it off of that person and say, let's focus our efforts there. Now, I'm not saying that means that is your niche and that's it. Your niche can change and adapt. You don't have to settle on one thing and stick with it. If it's not working, try something else. You can test different offers. You can test different audiences. There's lots of really cool tools out there where you can have a landing page and maybe your offer is, well, in Aaron's case, brand identity packages. That's specific in terms of what he offers, but who does he offer it to, or to whom does he offer it? You can test that. Maybe he's offering it to dentists, but maybe he also wants to offer it to lawyers. I'm just coming up with a couple ideas. So you could split test your website. You can have 2 landing pages and say, I offer branding identity packages for lawyers so that they can benefit. You're not offering an exciting feature. No one cares about the features. What they care about are the benefits and what they get out of it, the solution. So why do you offer brand identity packages to lawyers? What do they get out of it? Now, if you're smart, if you did your homework, if you're doing what I'm telling you, you're talking to these people, you're learning about them. Maybe you go out for coffee with a couple lawyers, or you meet them at the Chamber of Commerce or whatever, an event where lawyers are there, or you know somebody and they have a friend of a friend who's a lawyer. Talk to them. If you find out what their problem is and they say, I'm really having a hard time competing with the big law firm in town because they've got the marketing budget, but we are savvy and we're really good at this. And I think we really, we attract a specific type of clientele, a younger generation who is afraid of the whole legal mumbo jumbo. We make it accessible. Boom. Okay. Brand identity packages for the new law firms who want to communicate, what they have to offer to a younger audience, or however you want to craft that statement. You need to figure that out. And so don't be afraid to test some things out. You don't have to know it all up front. Experiment, workshop, cultivate your niche so that eventually you can be world class at your one thing. Aaron says, you'd be proud, Brad. I'm starting to think that one of my target audiences is the self-help pool of clients. There we go. There are people representing that niche that you could focus on, and now your voice automatically becomes louder. A lot of people are worried that if I am talking to a niche, that means there's less people there. That means there's less of a chance of getting booked. Not the case. In some cases, yes. Maybe you have a niche of 5 people, you're going to run out of clients pretty quickly. But If you're talking to everybody, you're talking to nobody because your voice is so quiet and there are 1,000 other people way better than you at whatever. But if you're specific and you're offering brand identity to new law firms in San Diego, California, and you have a good offer that solves the problem that you know that they're experiencing because you did your homework, now all of a sudden your voice is magnified and is loud because there are less people who do what you do and who offer what you offer to that specific type of clientele. And now you become an authority a lot quicker so that when you publish a blog post, it gets shared more by that network of people. When you contact one person who's in that niche, they say, oh, I've heard of you. So-and-so told me about you. Hey, maybe we can actually meet up and talk about, I have an idea for my brand. And I kind of, you're the kind of person I was looking to talk to. This is how this works. Aaron, taking notes. Cool. Okay. So I want to jump into the next piece, which is directly connected to what we were just talking about, being world-class. How do you understand who to talk to and how do you understand what their problem is? And I'm going to show you a method that will get you lasting client work. Spoiler, it's not easy, but it is the most effective strategy and I'm really excited to share it with you. So let's jump into number 4. Okay, pop quiz. Let's say that you and I are competing for the same design client. Let's say that you are a better designer than I am, but I happen to be a better relationship builder than you. Who books that client? Correct. This guy. Every single time. This brings me to step number 4. The BBQ method for lasting client work. So why do I call this the BBQ method? Here's why. In the barbecue versus grilling world, there's grilling, which is cooking hot and fast. So you open up your grill and you're cooking hamburgers or you're cooking a strip loin steak, something that requires you to cook something quickly with high heat. And then there's barbecuing, which is cooking something low and slow, like a chicken or pulled pork or a brisket or something where there's smoke, there's low temperature, and it takes hours, sometimes even days, depending on what you're barbecuing. So barbecue is known for how much time and effort is involved. But if it's done correctly, the flavor and the experience of the entire thing is worth it. So in business, you can grill hot and fast and look for the quick and easy way to win. Find the low-hanging fruit. Find the quick profit generators, the get-rich-quick schemes. You could do it fast, come in hot, and leave just as quick as you came in. But this can come at the expense of integrity, trust, lasting relationships, and ultimately the longevity of your business. Or you can approach business with the barbecue method. You're playing the long game, low and slow, because building lasting relationships takes time, effort, and constantly adding value. But those relationships will pay dividends over and over again in terms of more client work. Your reputation becomes stronger. Your name gets out there. Your network of referrals grows and grows. You can almost create a word of mouth epidemic by simply being trustworthy with integrity, and you deliver value. You solve problems. So you put in the hard work now for lasting client work, for a business that has longevity. So how do you build good relationships? Let's say when you meet someone at a coffee shop or at a networking event or a conference or at a friend's place or at a bar or wherever, be genuinely interested in them. Don't be weird. Don't be creepy. Just be a normal human person. Ask them questions about themselves, their passions, what they like doing, their business. Have a meaningful conversation. Don't just ignore them or talk about yourself or talk about the weather. Get to know them and be a genuine person. Make your conversations about them. People love to talk about themselves, not because they're necessarily narcissistic or really into themselves. they know themselves best and they like to talk about things that excite them and make them happy and make them, that they are interested in. So they're more interested in themselves than you. In the end, a client's not hiring you because they really like you. They're hiring you because you are interested in them and they trust that you can solve their problems. It's about them. So make your conversations about them and not you. Your goal with this person is a relationship, not a client. Remember, we're doing the BBQ method here, not the grilling method. You're not just trying to, bam, book somebody on the spot because your conversion rate's going to be low. What you're trying to do is build a relationship over an extended period of time. Whether or not they become a client, they just might be somewhere in your professional network. They might be a referral source. They might be an advisor, a mentor, something valuable to you. Maintain communication with them. Not just this one time. You meet them in a coffee shop. Maybe you guys hit it off and you find that person interesting, or you'd like to work with them, or you'd like to get to know them, or you'd like to have them over for coffee sometime, or you think that they're smart and they have experience in their industry and you're genuinely interested. Maintain communication. Ask for an email address, a social media handle like Twitter so you can keep in touch, or a phone number. Something. You could say, hey, are you free for coffee next Tuesday? I'd love to chat more about your business. I don't want to take any more of your time on your lunch break. And then consistently deliver value. Touch base. Share an article with them that you thought they might find interesting. And throughout your communication with them, you can drop small hints about what you do. Now, this isn't being sketchy or weird. Eventually, they're going to want to know something about you. Who's this person who seems genuinely interested in me? Oh, you're a web designer. Oh, that's cool. Oh, I actually need someone to help me with this thing. Maybe you could take a look at my site and see how you can help me. That's how projects get started. Not by, hey, you look like somebody who could use my help. I'm a web designer. Do you want me to redesign your website for $1,000? Not a chance. They're going to say, no way, creepo, get out of my face and never talk to me again. But if you build a relationship with them and establish trust and show interest and actually deliver value even for free, say, oh, I'll look at your site. Let me go through and I'll give you a few tips that you can use to have your web designer manage that for you. Oh, you don't have a web designer. Oh, well, here, take my card. Give me a call whenever. This is how this works. Relationship building, the BBQ method. So as you learn more about their business and the struggles that they experience in their business and in their life, you could follow up with, hey, you know what? I think I can help you with that. I can solve that. I've done that a countless times before for my clients who have similar businesses to you. Give me a call or give me your website address and I'll check it out and see what we can do. The BBQ method is not the quick and easy way. But every successful and sustainable business is built upon strong relationships. Ask any seasoned entrepreneur. There's a number of things that equate to a successful business. Strong relationship building efforts would be at the core. So this leads to a good reputation, more referrals, and lasting client work. So I'm going to go out on a limb here and assume that many of you are actually introverted or are on the introverted spectrum. That's not an excuse, because some of the most successful entrepreneurs in the world are introverted. Introverts have an easier time talking to people that they know and trust. So this is key here. Anyone who's an introvert here could agree with this. I'm certain of it. It's easier for you to communicate, talk to, maybe sell something to, suggest something to somebody that you are comfortable with, that you know, that you are at least acquainted with. So this makes a stronger case for building strong professional connections, because it will be easier to offer your services to them, to offer your help to them, rather than just a stranger, rather than a cold call. So here's a small challenge for everybody here. Next time you're at your favorite cafe, coffee shop, local business, somewhere, maybe you're going for lunch today or tomorrow, and you're going to go to a sandwich shop or a food truck, any of that, ask the person who's helping you, how's business today? It's not a hard question to ask, and you might be surprised by their answer. Anyone can do it, introverted or otherwise. Just start there. Ask, how's business today? Start the conversation. Get the ball rolling. So this is the BBQ method for lasting client work. BBQ method. How are we doing? Are we getting hungry here? Hungry for barbecue and hungry for clients? I love the BBQ method because, and talking about it, because it does make me incredibly hungry, and it tends to get people to listen up because, one, it sounds weird. BBQ method for clients. Are we barbecuing clients? This is weird, Brad. You're a weirdo. But it also gets you to listen because it's different. It's interesting, and it's easy to see comparisons. Grilling hot and fast. You're coming in hot and fast. You catch things on fire. You know, you're in and out just as fast. Whereas BBQ method, you're going low and slow. You're taking your time. You're building relationships. You're learning about people. And you are slowly and surely building your connections, adding value to people. And this can be in person or online. I have people here on YouTube asking, how do we do this online? Or where do we find these people? We have people in Crowdcast here wondering, like where do we find these clients? How do you talk to people? Where do you find these people to talk to? They are everywhere. Just stop, close your eyes, think about who you're trying to help and serve, and figure out where they are. Where do they go? Do they go to business meetups? Are there events? Maybe you are trying to serve local crafters. Where do crafters hang out? Farmers markets, crafting conventions, meetups. They have groups online and offline. Meet people. I know for a fact there's a crafter and at the farmers market, there's a guy who grows vegetables and does urban farming. If that was my niche, urban farming, people who are doing kind of like startup little businesses and creating organic food in their apartments, I figured out that he was the bartender at one of my favorite restaurants. And Laura and I, when we go to this restaurant, we sit at the bar and we talk to Josh, is his name. And we got to know him. We got him to make us some drinks and we chatted about his urban farming, and it was easy. We're having fun. We're being charismatic. We're learning about him. We're making jokes. And by the end of it, we were almost friends in a way. Whereas if I saw him on the street now or at the farmer's market, I'd be like, Josh, how's it going? Let me know about your business. What are you up to? It'd be so much easier than for me to say, dude, what's the thing that's holding you back from doing that thing that you wanted to do, from getting that goal? And he says this, it's hard to get people's attention doing this. And I have a Wix website up and I don't even know if it works. And I don't know if people visit it. And you're like, okay, hold up, Josh, let's meet at the bar and have a couple drinks. You can make me a couple of those kick-ass cocktails and I'm going to solve your problem. I'm going to tell you exactly how I'm going to solve your problem. And he's like, what? Okay, hold up. Sure. This is how it works. The BBQ method is not awkwardly walk in and say, I'm a web designer. I'm good at HTML and Python. Do you want a website? It doesn't work that way. It's never going to work. So stop trying that and stop thinking that that's what you should be doing. BBQ method is about learning about people, being a normal human person. Find out where these people are, talk to them, build a relationship, and don't have the idea in mind that you're trying to get them as a client. What you're trying to do is get them as a professional connection. Somebody who knows your face, knows your name, understands your personality, and feels like you actually care about their lives and their business so that you can be of value to them. So that when you say, you know what, Josh, I've seen this like 100 times with my clients and I can help you out. No pressure to be a client or anything like that, but I'm going to put something together to help you solve that problem. It's so much easier. So, is this making sense to everybody? The BBQ method, it's so powerful, and it's about going low and slow. It's about building relationships, and it's not about finding quick wins and getting rich quick or anything like that. It's about having integrity and honesty and building an asset and building connections so that your connections professionally and your referral network, it grows so that you're turning away referrals so that you could tell your clients, I've got enough work coming my way, and you start passing it off to other people or growing your business and building your team so that you could take on the work. Seems like people are resonating with this so far. Cool. Okay. So with that said, I want to jump into talking about a pricing strategy that is going to blow your mind. It's super simple, but it's going to be something that I want you to try on your next project because it's going to increase your chances of getting booked. But not only that, it's going to help you make more money for offering a similar thing that you would normally. Going to get you out of that pricing rut. So let's do this. Let's jump into number 5. Step number 5, the stupid simple pricing strategy to increase your rates and make more profit. This one I'm excited to share. It's going to be a nice and quick, concise one. So take some notes. I think this might be one of those aha moments in your freelance business. It's super simple, as I said in the title, but I think it's going to really help you out. So freelancers struggle to break out of their price range, regardless of the price range you're in, $500, $1,000, $5,000. How do you break out of that pricing rut? Well, one way is you could slowly increase your rates year after year. In fact, I did this for a number of years, but I realized it's kind of the wrong way of doing it because it just takes too long. And you are often undercharging and undervaluing your services anyway. So the alternative to that, the superior alternative, is to package your services as products and then offer your client the choice of more than one product when you propose a solution to them. Here's what usually happens. Your client says, hey, John, I need a website. How much is it going to be? And then you say, because you're super excited, you got a lead, and you really want to book that client because you feel like everything is hanging on it. You say $500, and I'll have it done next week. Your client right now, well, first of all, they're saying, wow, that's super cheap. Sure, I'll take it. But what you're doing here, regardless of you say $500, $1,000, $5,000, you're just giving them one choice, and that is a yes or no. So now you're hanging on a 50-50 chance of booking a project. How bad a strategy is that to hang your business on a 50-50 draw every single time you get a potential job? So instead, do this. When you get some interest in being hired or somebody wants to potentially book you, meet with them. Get on a call, a Skype call, phone call, meet in person. Talk to them, understand their problem, determine their pain points and needs. Discover what it is that they're actually struggling with so that you can understand and hear the language they're using to explain their problem. Go deep, figure out what it is. Be the consultant. So then they're going to say, basically, okay, I need a website. How much is it going to be? You say, I went back to the drawing board. I put together a proposal of how I can help you. Go ahead, read through it, see if we're fit, and then at the end, feel free to choose the package that you feel works best for you and solves your problem in the way you need it solved. That's much more intelligent language in a way that they will see you as an investment, somebody who is an expert rather than a hired gun, a commodity. So let's do a quick little example. Let me illustrate how this works. So in your proposal, this is what you say. Package A. Let's say it's $500. Let's say that this is your base rate anyway. You usually, on average, charge $500 for a project. So package A is a simple solution, no extras, no bells and whistles. It's pretty easy to produce, minimal turnaround, and at entry-level pricing. So a pretty simple solution. It solves the problem in a basic way. It's also budget-friendly. So that's package A. Package B, let's say it's $850. It's the full solution. It has some extra benefits, a bit more time commitment on your end. Maybe you need to hire somebody to help you turn it around a bit quicker. It's attractive to clients who desire results, and it's in that mid-range pricing. And then you have package C. Let's call it $1,200. This is a premium, tailor-made solution with extra benefits, bonuses, clear return on investment. So you're providing a solution that possibly even suggests that they're going to make a return or maybe guarantees a return on their investment. It's attractive to those clients who desire results. They're not just trying to hire someone to get a quick task done. They're looking to grow their business, and they see you as the investment, and they want return on their investment. So here's what happens. Watch this. Package A, they say, this one seems a little too simple. I like the price, but it's a bit too simple. I think I want more. Package B, they say, this package seems like a great fit for where I am in my budget, but I do like the results. I can make this one work. Package C, I'll stretch my budget if I can have those results. Maybe I might consider that. So what just happened? Instead of that 50-50 draw, now your client gets to choose their own outcome, choose their journey, so to speak. They feel in control. This increases your chance of booking that client. It also makes you appear more as an expert because you understand the problem that they experience, and you're presenting multiple solutions, and they get to choose which one they need the most. The client may want the results of the higher value package, and therefore getting you out of that pricing rut. Maybe you normally charge $500 to $1,000. You have that in there. So if budget really matters to them and the results don't as much, then they'll go for a lower package, and they won't feel offended that you also have higher value packages. But maybe they say, $500 would be nice, but I really want the results of that $1,200 package. Maybe we can meet somewhere in the middle. Maybe I can go with package B. So try that out on your next proposal. Honestly, package your services as products and present them with multiple products with clear value and benefit of those individual packages, rather than just saying, my hourly rate is $50 an hour, it's going to take 100 hours, therefore it's this much. Try this out instead. All right, so the stupid simple pricing strategy, it's something that's been huge for me in my business. I love using this strategy. It's so simple, and I'm always in shock that it works because it's so easy and so simple. You think, oh, they're not going to go for that. I'm not telling them my hourly rate. No, you're packaging your services as a product, as a solution. And then they get to choose. And I've heard this language. They'll say, a package A is pretty nice because I like the price, but can I get the results in package B? Because I can stretch my budget if I'm going to get that. So we got some comments in here. Let me see. Shad says, do you charge up front or do you get the whole payment at the end at one shot? Don't ever wait for the payment at the end. Always ask for money up front. So it really depends on your project. So I will often take 50% up front and then the remainder upon completion, or you can do monthly payments. You say, I require, in order to get started, 25%, and then we pay 25% each month until the project is done. Let me see here. Matt says, I had someone offer $150 to $300 for a custom site and a logo from scratch after making the social media post. They were reluctant to give me a general budget, but I have learned to get an idea before getting a full proposal, building a full proposal. They wanted me to do that. They were not willing to budge. It's a good idea to have packages rather than custom proposals for every basic client. Now I will save time. Yes, totally agree. Some people are just looking for budget-friendly options or just looking to save some cash, and they don't value what you're offering. And those are people you don't want to work with. Now you can convert the mindset of some of those people because they think that they're just looking for something cheap because they think they know what the solution is, but you are the expert. You're the one providing the solution. You are the one solving the problem. And so if you ask them why is it that you need this? Or what is it? What's your desired outcome? What would be a successful number for you? What would be this project, let's say we finish the project on time and on an agreed upon budget. What is success of this project for you? That's a hard question for them. It makes them think because they think, oh, success was just getting the project done. No, it's not. How do I determine that this was a useful use of my time and money? Oh, well, I'd love more clients. Oh, and say, how much is a client worth to you? If I can get you a phone call, how much is that phone call worth to you? Oh, well, half the time I get a client out of a phone call. So if you got me 10 phone calls, I get 5 clients. And you say, okay, what if I got you 100 phone calls? Well, that's 50 clients. What if I do that every single month? What if that grows? What is that worth to you? How much is that call worth to you now? Then you could say, do you see why I'm asking $5,000? Pay that up monthly for the next 5 months. You're going to have that paid off in X months. This is why I'm in this business, so that I can help you get clients. I'm not here to make a pretty website or a sexy logo. Those are just byproducts of my solution. What I'm trying to get you is success in your business and more clients. I'm making your life easier, which is why I'm asking these packages. So choose the package that works best for you. And if you want, we can split this out into a payment plan so that it's a little bit easier up front. But I'm going to require 25% up front to get started. That's how this works. Take it or leave it. If they don't want it, then they're not going to get the results. That's just how it works. You don't need the client. They need you. Change your mindset to think about that as well. Alea says 3 packages seem to be the sweet spot. I tend to agree because package A is usually that entry level, easy, something you could churn out easy. Package B is your base offer anyway. And package C is not necessarily there to make people buy it, but it's there as an anchor to show that the other packages are more affordable. So if you have a $1,000 package, a $3,000 package, and let's say a $10,000 package. Now that $3,000 package is looking pretty darn budget compared to a $10,000 offering. Dana says, I learned this the hard way too many times. Let's see. Lots of conversation on this. This is great. Matt, I usually offer to forward their info on as well to attempt to eliminate features. I love the payment plan idea. Matt, Alea says, I ask what the budget is at the start. If their budget is below my smallest package, I will decline the project, but still offer them some suggestions and directions. Often they'll come back having found more money after I offer suggestions and provided value. Yes, this is great. Aaron, yes, it always comes back to mindset. Terry says, hey, Brad, just seen this. How you doing? Hey, Terry, how's it going, man? Good to see you. Cool. So that is the stupid simple pricing strategy that I'm really excited for you guys. I know that some of you here have been trying this, but I really strongly encourage you to do this on your next project. So with that said, I want to go into number 6, which this part to me, I think you need to be taking notes. This is one of those pieces that most freelancers don't take into consideration. We think that freelancing income is up and down and that's just the way it is. Well, that's just the way it is for fools. If you want to have a consistent and growing income as a freelancer and grow your business, you need to change your mindset again to have an entrepreneurial approach and grow your business. You're now a business owner, not just a hired gun. And so I want to show you a method that you can use to build assets in your business so that you can have passive income and get you across those low points. So let's jump in. I call it building a bridge. Okay, this one is exciting. Make sure you're taking notes for this one. Step number 6 is how to build a bridge for income stability and hyper growth. This piece is incredibly important for freelancers who are wanting to level up from doing it on the side, from just messing around to having a side hustle and transitioning into full-time. And for those who are full-time to level up their freelancing business so that they can grow, so that they can have stability. Everybody here wants income stability and growth. And this is one of the key components to allowing you to have that. And I call it building a bridge. So freelancing income, as we all know here, is volatile. It's up and down, up and down. Sometimes it's up, up, up. Sometimes it's way down. It's commonly known as the feast or famine cycle. I like to call it mountains and valleys because I can visualize it like this, how you see on the screen. So mountains and valleys, the white peaks are the mountains and those teal dips, those are the valleys. So in the valleys, you can see we're doing things like making calls, finding work, hustling, networking, trying our best to get more clients. A lot of the time we're panicking in the valleys as well. But in the mountains, what's happening? Well, we're working, we're getting paid, and things are happening. We're feeling good. So we're not worried about the valley. We're in the middle of a mountain cycle, so we think, hey, everything's good. But the reality is if you don't have a bridge set up, you're going to have to go across another valley. And a lot of freelancers will quit as a result because they feel like the valley is it. The reality is freelancers must learn to embrace the valleys. Now, that doesn't mean you can't have income stability and growth. It's not the be-all, end-all. You don't have to just expect and always have income instability. Nobody wants that. So how do you solve this problem? Well, there is a way, and I call it building a bridge, or building an income bridge to be more specific. This is why I like the mountain and valley metaphor, because building a bridge, it makes sense what's happening here. A bridge gets you across the valley from mountain peak to mountain peak, or at least somewhere within the mountain. A bridge, an income bridge, is simply created with additional income sources. So in this illustration here, you can see, what do we have new in the illustration? We have our mountains and our valleys, but now we have a bridge that gets us across the valley so that while we are not working and getting paid by doing our active service-based or product-based income, we're making calls, finding work, hustling, networking, doing what we can, establishing a marketing strategy, taking a course, doing what we need to do, furthering our education to build our business so that we can get more clients and get more money. The bridge is there to carry us across so we're not panicking, so that we have some income to fall back on. So ideally, your bridge generates passive income. So income that happens automatically in the background so you need not be present to earn it. Because this allows you to earn income in the background while you are continuing to build your business, which is what you want, because you want to be scaling yourself up. So you could be building your business, but there's money happening in the background. That is ideal, and that's what you want your bridge to be. The key is to create at least one additional income source. So you have your active primary source of income, client work, service-based work, consulting. but you have at least one additional income source, ideally an additional passive income source. This is called diversification in the investment world. So if one income source dries up or one investment dries up, you have another to rely upon. That's what we're trying to do here as freelancers, as business owners. You have your active income, but you have other pieces. You have a bridge to carry you across. You have multiple income sources. You're diversifying how you're making money. A lot of people think that employment is the safe option and entrepreneurship is the risky option, but the entrepreneur thinks totally differently. Being an employee is way, way more risky because I have one income source controlled by my boss who could at any moment fire me, lay me off. His business can go belly up and then therefore I am out of a job. My one income source is gone. But as an entrepreneur, your goal is to have more than one income source so that if one falls off the face of the planet, that's okay. You got a couple others. So that's what building a bridge is all about. Your bridge is ideally related to your core business. So it should augment what you offer within your business, not divide your attention. Not, I have a freelance web design business, but I also cut grass on the side. Sure, you can do that to make some money on the side, but that's not your bridge. That's related to your core business. You want to build your business. You want to build assets within your business. So a great place to start is to create a product to add to your offerings. Now, I'm not necessarily saying a physical product, although it could be. I'm talking more about things like this. Online courses, digital and physical products, books, complimentary services, downloadable resources, tutorials, software, plugins, apps, workbooks, retainers, maintenance work, coaching calls, tools and resources. These are just some ideas. I'm sure you could throw them all up in the comments, actually. Light that comment section on fire and let me know if you have any other interesting ideas for a bridge. Here are the benefits of building a bridge, if they're not already clear. Additional income sources equal income stability. Your product can be used as an introductory offer for a low barrier for new clients because it's easier to pay $100 than $1,000. So instead of pitching them right away on your flagship service, you offer them a small course, ebook, product, or smaller consulting service that acts as a lower barrier of entry. Your product can also be a downsell that you offer your clients when you complete a project, a maintenance plan, an additional product, a piece of software, a book, a course for ongoing education. It also acts as social proof to solidify your place as the expert. So if you wrote an ebook or you wrote a book or you created a course on your topic of creating profitable restaurant landing pages and you are in conversation with a potential client, you could say, this is my thing. This is my wheelhouse. I literally wrote the book on marketing for restaurateurs. So let's jump into an example here. Here's a guy, we're going to call him John. His expertise is WordPress. His audience is high-end restaurants. His primary offering is custom WordPress websites. That's how he makes most of his income at this point. His first bridge is a monthly retainer. So maintenance, maybe SEO, maybe technical assistance, bug squashing, whatever you want. Bridge number 2 is a set it and forget it landing page for new restaurants. So he has a little product that he built a template, maybe a WordPress template, landing page for new restaurants. They give him $100 and they get that template. Maybe it's an automatic one-click install. That's his second bridge. Bridge number 3 is an online course that teaches restaurant owners how to use and best market their websites online. So how does this bridge the valley? Well, his primary income source, service-based freelancing. January, $4,000, doing well. February, ouch, he had a low month, $708. March, $2,000. He's back up a little bit, but it's up and down. It's a little bit scary. He doesn't know if he's making bank or if he's hitting rock bottom. He's not sure, but his bridge comes into play. His retainer plan. Now he's making an extra $220 a month. Perhaps he has a couple clients on that retainer. And then in March, he has another one. So he has that consistent income in the background that he doesn't really have to work for. Maybe it's on autopilot. Maybe he has a virtual assistant who does that work for him. Bridge number 2, his introductory landing page project. He sells them for $250 a pop. He's got one of those in January. He makes a couple sales in February and March. He's got 3 of those going. You can see how this grows. And that is passive. That's in the background. People are checking out and purchasing the template and doing the one-click install, however he set it up. He doesn't really have to be there for that transaction to happen. Final bridge here, number 3, his online course. Let's say he sells it for a few $100s. He makes a couple sales in January. February, it's growing. By March, he's got more clients and they're taking him up on his ongoing education product. There we go. So now you can see how he's got his primary income source that is up and down. but he's got his 3 bridges that help him get across the valley. And now he's making more money. That's growing. Potentially at some point, he might even be able to rely exclusively on one of his bridges. And for his primary income source, he can work with whomever he wants rather than just taking anything and everything. Now, the best time, you might be wondering, well, I don't have time to build my bridge. How does this work? When should I do it? Well, the best time to build your bridge is when you are in the valley. That's because when you're on the mountain, you are working, you're busy, you're feeling good. But when you're in the valley, you feel sorry for yourself. You feel scared. That's the best time to build yourself an asset, to build your bridge. Because you have time. You're in a lull anyway. You're not serving any clients. So serve yourself and build yourself an asset. Build your bridge. It might take a few valleys to get there. So start small, build a simple product when things are slow, and eventually you'll have built a bridge that's making you $50 a month, 100, maybe 150, eventually 1,000, a few thousand. It can grow as much as you want it to grow if you put in the work. So build a bridge for income stability. Bob the Builder, can we fix it? Bob the Builder, yes we can. Yeah, that was weird. So anyway, Bob the Builder references for any parents in here. You want? Can we build it? Yes, we can. We got to build bridges for success in our freelance business. Let me see. I got some cool comments in here. Let me see. Alea, coding camps for kids are great. Yes, Razor, there'll be a replay. Dana, I have a client that pays me monthly retainer of $800 for her monthly specials and to post it on the Facebook for a daily basis. And we had some comments there from Shad, who sounded like he had a shady employer, which we want to stick away. We want to stay away from those people. So building a bridge, does this make sense? If you want to be successful as a freelancer, there are 2 things. I mentioned it in the comments here. If you don't have a bridge, diversified revenue streams, you eventually won't make it, or you'll grow tired of that mountain and valley cycle. So you need to have something that carries you across. You need to start building that asset. So eventually it can be smooth sailing. It's not going to be like that right away, but you have to build it. You have to build your bridge. And I said your success as a freelancer depends on you realizing that you are more than just a freelancer. You are a business owner. You're an entrepreneur. So that you can change your mindset. So that you're not just thinking you need to do everything and you need to be the skilled worker at everything. You're a business owner. If you're opening up a coffee shop, you're eventually not going to be doing everything. At first, yes, you're going to be making coffee, grinding the beans, roasting the beans. You're going to be serving the customers. You're going to be making the sandwiches. You're going to be doing everything. But eventually you realize that's not sustainable and it's a pain in your ass. So you start to hire people. You hire a barista. You hire an accountant. You hire a front a person who's going to serve people. You have sandwich makers and food makers and chefs. And then eventually you're the person running the business. You're working on the business, not in the business. The idea is to get out of the freelancer mindset and realize that you're more than just that. So let me see. We got some more comments going on. Yes, we can. Aaron, literally dying. I don't know. I just assume that it's only parents who know Bob the Builder references, but, I don't know. I caught my brother one time. He was building something, and he was singing Bob the Builder. What are you doing? Anyway, I love Bob the Builder. It's so great. Bob the Builder builds bridges. Be like Bob the Builder, build some bridges. That dude's an entrepreneur. So with that said, Dana says 3 likes on my LinkedIn post about launching a website business. So now's the time for people who haven't done the challenge yet, get in on the action, do the challenge, because it's at this time in the webinar that people start seeing activity. And Dana, maybe today you get a lead. Maybe within the next 48 hours, you get some activity and some comments and some sharing. This is how this works. Now remember, if your challenge fails, if it falls flat on its face and nobody cares about it, don't use that as a signal to say you should quit. Use that as affirmation that you actually did it. You actually tried. You took your shot. And it's not your only shot. That's the cool thing. You don't get one shot. You get shots every day. But most of us just fail to take them. So don't. And get started. Shad, I'm a 90s kid. I know Bob the Builder. Nice. Okay, so Deepak here on YouTube says, as much as I know you from YouTube, you're very much into building bridges. I very much am into building bridges, or might be bridges that are bigger than the primary income. So here's your idea. Business owners who happen to be web developers and web designers. You're building your business around your strengths. Happens to be web design, coding, web development. That's your core business. Building your bridge is related to that, is related to your business, so that it supports it. Eventually, it might outgrow it. So when I started out doing YouTube tutorials and coding courses, that was me attempting to build a bridge so that my freelancing income, which was like this, that I needed something to give me a little bit more peace of mind. So coding courses, teaching people. What that also turned into, I never realized, was people who saw, whoa, this Brad dude knows how to code and I like his personality. I'm building relationships with people, BBQ Method, over YouTube videos and courses and tutorials. And they start to trust me. And then they start to contact me and say, hey, I actually have a business I'm starting up and I was learning how to code WordPress with your videos, but maybe you can do it for me. And then I say, cool, here's my request for proposal form, fill it out and we'll see if we're a fit. So building a bridge, you want it to support your primary business. And you're building an asset. Eventually that asset might outgrow your primary service, which is great because you want that. You want to be able to build your assets, your bridges, so that your primary income source that you started out with, just doing service-based work, you then get to just choose who you want to work with. Or it all just becomes a part of the revenue generating machine. You have a small team, you get a client who says, hey, we got a project. You say, here are our packages. That's automated. And then they say, I want package B. You say, great, I got a spot next month. Sign here if you want to get started. Here's your deposit and we'll book your spot. And then you hand it off to your team member to build it so that you can focus on growing another asset, marketing an asset, getting more clients. Or maybe you have a few clients that come in and you realize, I want to work personally with that client. And the other two, I'm going to get my team members to handle it. So that's what's nice about building bridges. There's a term called FU money. I'll let you fill in the blanks there. What FU money is it's just building a bridge. It allows you to say no to the work you don't want to do. At first, we're saying yes to everything, but eventually we want to just work with who we want to work with and do what we want to do. We want to have freedom and flexibility. And I got to tell you, it feels really good when you could say no to clients you don't want to work with. When you have someone who you're used to saying yes to everything, and then eventually you start to realize, I can do whatever I want. I could take whatever clients I want. I can focus my business even more. At one point, my niche was really broad. Now it starts to zone in. And then you could say, I only help this type of business with this type of person offering this type of thing. And the budget is always $10,000 minimum. You could start to do that stuff when you build your bridges and you have a padding that eventually grows and carries you across. Disa, Brad, first generation of kids who watch Bob the Builder are adults now. Yes, definitely. I feel old. Having kids also makes you feel old. I have gray hairs in my beard. I'm only 29. Christine, hi everyone. Hi, Christine. Alea, these are some serious gems Brad is dropping. I'm hoping everyone is taking notes. Please, folks, take some notes. I even take notes on my own webinars. I'm a weirdo like that. So, building a bridge. I wanted to really drop that one. So with that said, I want to jump into another one, number 7. We're closing in on the home run here. And I'm really excited about number 7. This is going to change your mindset from thinking that you're just a freelancer having to do everything yourself to realizing, whoa, I can build something much bigger and I can scale and I can grow. And if you dream about financial security and freedom of choice and time, this next step is your little secret key. So listen up. All right, step number 7, the E.D.A formula for scaling your freelance business. I promise you, I'll tell you what that stands for in just a sec. Web developers and designers, we suffer from feeling that we need to learn everything before we start freelancing. Most of us here could probably agree with that. Go ahead and let me know in the comments if you actually agree with that statement. You feel like you got to get better at your skill, or you got to learn some new skills, new languages, new software, and get good at it before you can even consider starting freelancing. Go ahead and let me know if you actually agree with that. I'm going to address this. There are always going to be new skills, software, strategies, and so on. But learning them is a never-ending pursuit. It's a study in and of itself. Therefore, if you are hinging your freelancing, the beginning of your freelancing efforts on you needing to learn all the things first, I promise you right now that you will never start freelancing, which is why I started this whole webinar out with a challenge for you to just start. Scare the crap out of you a little bit, give you a big push. That's why I did that. You already have at least the minimum viable skills and ability to start freelancing. You're going to start with small clients anyway, and you're going to grow. So start. There's a saying that goes, if you're waiting for a good time to have a baby, you will never have a baby. And anyone who's a parent here totally understands that. There's never a good time to have a baby. There's always something going on. There's always a stress. There's always a pressure. There's always something. And babies are a lot of work. So there's never a good time. The same thing goes with freelancing. If you're waiting for the right time to start freelancing, you will never start freelancing. Let's modify that statement. If you're waiting to learn all the skills to start freelancing, you will never start freelancing. In fact, the only people who really care how many skills you've mastered are employers. People who want to hire you as an employee because they hire you for your skills. Yes, your personality and all these things come into play, but you are a hired gun. They need a front-end ninja. They need a graphic designer who does this, that, and the other thing. They need to know that you studied this language and that language and you've got this degree and so on and so forth. It's only employers who care about the skills you've mastered. But freelancing is a very different world. It's totally different from being employed in the way that you market yourself and you put yourself out there. You are the business owner. And that's a huge mindset shift that most freelancers, I swear, take years to figure out. You're the business owner. You're running a business now. You're not getting hired by employers every time you get a client. You are the business owner and you are trying to serve people and solve their problems. Your clients need you, not the other way around. So if you're the business owner, what is the purpose of a business? To serve a growing client base and to make a profit. You want to make money. You want to get customers. You want to help them and you want to profit from it. And you can't grow if you're spending all of your time learning the trendy new skill of the week. Therefore, in order to grow and scale your business and help more people and make more money, you need to adopt the E.D.A formula. This stands for eliminate, delegate, and automate. How do you apply the E.D.A formula? In everything that you do, everything, personal, professional, in your business, with your friends, with your relationships, with your studying, with your learning, roughly 20% of your actions produce 80% of the results. Therefore, you should personally focus on the 20%. And as for the remaining 80%, eliminate, automate, delegate. So before you even apply the formula, you need to write out everything that you're doing, all the tasks that you're working on, journal and audit your tasks, the things that you do, the steps that you take, the people you talk to, the clients you work with. Take stock of everything that's happening so you can see on paper what's going on in your business. And then eliminate from that list everything that doesn't serve you or your business, doesn't contribute to your principles or your mission, and doesn't help you grow. For example, bad clients, the ones who are nagging at you, the ones who don't pay very much money but require most of your attention. So the clients who only produce 20% of your income but generate 80% of your stress. Get rid of them. Eliminate them. Obviously in a nice and professional way. Don't burn bridges. You've outgrown them. Also, learning trendy skills that don't matter. There's always going to be a new language. There's always going to be a new framework. There's always going to be new software. You don't have to master it. You probably don't even need to bother with it. If it's not contributing to your business, your mission, helping you grow, helping your clients, then it's likely something you don't even need to concern yourself with. Distractions. Eliminate distractions. Your phone, notifications on your computer, on your mobile devices. If you're working from home, make sure you set clear boundaries with your family and your kids so they're not coming in and distracting you when you're working. Or if you are, maybe find a better space if you're working from home. Maybe try a co-working space or a coffee shop. Turn off social media. Do what you got to do to eliminate distractions. Also, old products and services that don't generate revenue. So if you've been freelancing for a while and you have some products and services and you're continually marketing them, they don't really generate a lot of money. So you're putting a lot of effort, 80% of your effort, and you're generating only 20% of income from those products, those services. Maybe you say, I do Flash or I do this type of consulting, but you only get the odd client from that. Eliminate it. You don't need it. Then delegate everything of that list that you shouldn't be handling yourself, that you don't enjoy doing, or that somebody else could do better than you. You might think you're great at it, but there's probably somebody else who's better. And as an entrepreneur, the trick is not just to be the superstar or the superhero, it's to find the superheroes and have them on your team. For example, if you're a coder, don't bother with design. Hire a designer, a virtual assistant, a subcontractor. There are people in the communities that I've put together in my courses in Freelancing Freedom that would be eager to help you and partner up with you. Or vice versa. If you are a designer and you don't know a lick of code, don't bother. Get somebody else. Get a superstar coder who is eager to help you. Hire an accountant for taxes and money management. Use a tool like QuickBooks Online and hook in your accountant. That's what I do. I use QuickBooks Online. All my statements, my income and credit card statements and all those things that are associated with my business, it all goes into QuickBooks. I do some basic management of it. The end of the tax year, the business year, the accountant goes through, makes sure everything is consolidated and properly done. And then she goes, here, Brad, here's your bill. Done. I don't have to bother with it. Hire a project manager. Get a virtual assistant or a subcontractor, your spouse, a friend, somebody you went to school with. There's a ton of options out there. You can find from bootstrapping a team member to hiring somebody and paying them in whatever way you see fit to help you manage your projects, to help you communicate with your clients, to answer phones, to relay emails so that you can work on the project. So maybe you have a team of 3. You have yourself, you're the director, and you love the coding part. You're the coder. So you code up the custom WordPress sites. You have your project manager who communicates in a beautiful way to your clients. The clients always feel like they're taken good care of. And you have the designer designing amazing stuff for you to code. That sounds like a dream team. And all of these can be virtual assistants. They can be in person, they could be subcontractors, they could be colleagues, and they could be virtual assistants. These are just a handful of examples for delegating. And finally, of the list that you have left over, the things that have not been eliminated or delegated, what of that list can you automate? Everything that is systemized and repetitive. So things that don't require your personality, maybe doing the personal phone call or a video or a live stream or writing something specific, writing up the copy of a proposal or doing a client meeting. Things that are systemized and repetitive. Things that don't need to be handled by a human. And things that can greatly improve your productivity if they were just automated in the background. So let me give you some examples of automating. I love this part. This is so great because you can have a one man or a one woman business, but it operates as though it's a 10 or 20 person business. Check this out. Nurturing and pitching leads. A lot of people here are uncomfortable with the idea of nurturing, communication, and pitching due to the nature of web developers and introverts and just people in general. Just selling is just kind of uncomfortable. So check this out. I use ConvertKit to do something like this. This is a basic example of a sequence. The first day 0, somebody subscribes to your list because they downloaded your checklist to improve their SEO for their dentist website. A thank you email. Day 2, ask a question. This is conversational. This is as though you're sending them personal emails, but it's automated. Day number 4, a couple days later, an educational email. A few days later, another educational email, an article, something you wrote, a podcast, a video that you think is relevant to that type of business, the dentist. Day number 12, educational plus ask for a call in the postscript, in the PS. Hey, I want to jump on a quick call. I'd love to chat about your business. Automate it again, and then use an automated service to book a call. I'll show you that in a sec. Day number 18, educational email, more free value. Day number 22, look at that, educational with a PS to ask for a call if they have not done that yet. You can check with ConvertKit. You can see, have they booked a call with me before? Nope. Do the PS. And day 30, a hard ask. Hey, I'd love to meet with you in person or chat about your business. And the email is not educational. It is just a straight up hard ask, whether that is fill out my request for proposal form, give me a call, let's meet. I'd love to see what I could do to help you. This is over 1 month of you not even having to personally email this person. And this can be done with 1 person, 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people. 20,000 people, doesn't matter. It's automated, and you're nurturing and connecting and pitching all automatically. Scheduling calls and meetings. This one is directly connected with the last one. I use Calendly. There's other things out there like You Can Book Me and stuff. Calendly is free, where you can just set the times of day that you are available for whatever. A call, a meeting, a Skype call, a consulting call, coffee, whatever. You put your availability, you send them a link. It says, here's my availability. Book a time that works for you. They choose, let's say, Tuesday, October 10th. And they book you at 2 p.m. because you're available within that hour. You get an email, they get an email, everyone's happy. Done. Automated. You've never go back and forth. Proposals, contracts, and invoices. I use Bonsai. It's a great tool. It's free to create proposals, contracts, and invoices. For me, I actually use QuickBooks for invoices, but Bonsai is great for the proposals and contracts as well, where you just fill in the blanks for the proposal, for the contract, and it generates, depending on the contract type, the terms that you fill in, it generates a professional proposal, contract, and invoice. And it's awesome. Check it out. Another one, qualifying leads and gathering project info. I use Typeform to qualify leads and gather project info. So if you go to bradhussey.ca/RFP, there is a form there. It's a type form that I use for anyone who's interested in my clients and my leads. And they fill out all the project details. It's very lengthy, because I'm only interested in working with people who are willing to spend time talking about their business. I get to see the budgets that they are looking for and the type of project. And if I'm not interested, I never actually talk to them at all. I say, thank you. I'm not actually interested. Or, great, let's jump on a call. Here's my link, my Calendly link, book a time to chat. Project management. Here's another one. Asana, Basecamp, Trello. There's tons out there to manage your projects. Don't use email. Use a tool like this. It's way, way, way better. Client follow-up and relationship nurturing. You finish a job with a client, do you just let them drop off the face of the planet? No, they're one of your best sources for ongoing income and referrals. Keep in contact. You don't have to do it personally. You could use automation. When you finish a project, tag that customer or that client with finished project or whatever you want in ConvertKit. Create a sequence that checks in with them every other month, asks them some questions, adds some free value, and encourages referrals, encourages testimonials, and encourages working with you again in the future. Easy peasy, beautiful. It's scalable. It's a one-to-many solution. You can do this for one person. You could do it for 10,000 people. It doesn't matter. So to scale your freelance business, focus only on what matters. The 20% that you do, that only you can do, that you're the best at, your world-class wheelhouse, focus on that, and then eliminate, automate, and delegate the rest. Can I get an amen to that, folks? Step number 7, the E.D.A formula. Amen to that. The E.D.A formula. Any questions? Feel free to throw those up in the comments or in that Ask a Question tab down there. We can address it in a little bit. I love this formula because as a freelancer, as a solopreneur, as someone who's starting out a business and it's just you want to be able to maximize your efforts. And what's so great about freelancing and running a small business like this is that it's lean, meaning you don't need to go and rent a $5,000 a month office space. You don't need to hire a bunch of employees and pay benefits. You don't need to take out a massive loan to get started. I literally challenged you to get started today for free. All it took was you feeling uncomfortable and giving me your email so you could watch this live stream. And some of you, actually, I'm hoping more of you now by this point, are starting to realize that you can just get started now. It's a simple Facebook post and you're already starting. I started a bunch of people's freelance businesses in the last week that they never even realized they could do because they spend all this time telling themselves that they can't. They feel they're not good enough. They feel their skills aren't worthy to charge for. They feel like they need more time to get ready. They need to learn more things. That's BS. That is just an internal struggle, as Aaron says there, that holds you back from moving forward. Yeah, you got to get uncomfortable, but what do you want? Do you want to feel uncomfortable, or do you want to stay and keep the things the way they are? Or do you want to change? Something is telling me that because you're here, you want things to change. So feel uncomfortable, be okay with it, and move forward. What I love about this is that you can grow yourself. You have just yourself, but you're automating your communication. You've effectively hired somebody who's pitching and building relationships with your clients and converting them. And it's just a machine using your voice. And you can scale that to as many people as you want, as you want to grow. Project management. You can automate these things with software. Delegating is key because certain things humans have to do and certain things you just don't want to do or it's not your thing. If you're not comfortable talking to people, you can hire people to help you with sales. You can hire a virtual assistant to do project management. You can hire people to answer your phone. You can hire people to help build your sites, help design your sites. If you're a designer and you spend too much time doing all the design stuff, but you still like holding on to that, this is for you, Aaron. Hire somebody to help wireframe your site so you can design it, or vice versa. Same with coders. If you're good in this, do your thing and get other people who are better than you to help you. The key for a successful entrepreneur is not to try and be the best at everything, but to find the people who are the best at the things you need and have them be a part of your brand. That's how you succeed and grow. So the E.D.A formula: eliminate, get rid of the crap and the distractions, delegate the things that you shouldn't be doing to other humans who are better than you, and automate the things that software can do that you don't even need to be touching. This is how you scale and grow. Cool. Okay. I want to bring this home with the last piece of the puzzle. And it's step number 8. So be prepared to share a little something about yourself in the comments section. So here we go. Finally, step number 8, how to keep the fire lit under your ass for never-ending passion. Starting a freelance business takes time, determination, persistence, and hard work. Everybody here should understand that. It's easy with all of this work you put into it. The failures, the blood, sweat, and tears, the hard work. It's easy to forget the point of it all. It's easy to lose sight of why you started this. I believe that something called you to this path. And for some reason, you chose to follow that calling, which is why you're here. So when times are hard, you experience failure and you feel like giving up, you need to remind yourself of why you chose this path, or perhaps why this path chose you. Many people know this as the "what is your why?" It's a phenomenon that's going around now, started by Simon Sinek. He had a TED Talk called How Great Leaders Inspire Change, and his whole mission is about understanding your why. Now, I won't go into the depths of it all. You can Google the video, Simon Sinek, What is Your Why? You'll find it. Handsome gentleman with glasses with a pie chart behind him. Check it out when you get a moment later. But the point of this whole what is your why is to dig deep down into why you're doing this. Not, oh, freelancing's fun, I like it. Or, I don't know, I don't like my boss. Or, I like web design, so, I don't know, I thought I could make some money at it. Go deep. Ask yourself, why are you even bothering? Why do you do this? What gets you up in the morning? Not even just, you want to be a freelance web designer, why do you want to be a freelance web designer? Why are you choosing this path? What gets you up in the morning? What excites you? What inspires you? What is that core principle beneath everything that tells you, this is why I am doing this? So tell us in the comments right now if you have an idea. Why do you want to be a freelancer? What does that mean to you? What gets you up in the morning so that you can freelance, so that you can think about freelancing? What is it? And how will you remind yourself that what you are doing is worth doing? I'm asking you, what is your why? Now, while you are all sharing this in the comments and thinking about what your why is, there's no wrong answer here. Just go deep and just try your best. For me, I like to come back to what I call my 3 F's. Family, freedom, finances. My family is my life. They are everything to me. I have 2 small children and I have a beautiful wife. And I work from home and I get to see them every day. For me, freelancing means I get to be with my family. I get to watch my children grow up. My children have always had me home. They always know that daddy's down in the studio working. They've never known any different. They actually think at least my daughter thinks it's different when people work away from their home because work is at home. That's what she thinks. And for me, that's wonderful because I am accessible. If something exciting is happening, Laura will call me upstairs. I'll run up and I'll get to witness a first, or I can help her if there's something's going down. Freelancing allows me to be at home with my family, to spend time with them, more time with them. I have friends, and maybe you have friends, or maybe even you understand this scenario where they work all day, they're doing their best, and they commute to work and they commute back home, and by the time they get home, their wives or their partners, the mothers of the children, have to keep the child up just a little bit past their bedtime so dad can put them to bed, because they crave to be with them. Of course, they're your child. For me, I don't have to do that. And I'm not trying to rub this in anyone's faces. I get it. I get that is what you've got to do. But for me, I wanted to avoid that completely. I didn't want that even to be an option for me. So I worked my ass off to get myself to that point where I don't have to be away. So that's family. Freedom of choice is truly what it comes down to. I get to choose what to do with my time, where to spend it, what to work on, what to create, what not to create, who to work with, who not to work with. If I should work in the evening because I want to take the day off because it's beautiful outside. I have hobbies like woodworking and playing guitar. So if I just want to take a break and build something or learn a guitar solo or record a song, I have time to do that if I feel like I want to do that. And finally, finances. It's last for a reason. I don't guide what I do based on finances. Of course, we need to pay the bills. We need to make money. We need to save for retirement. We need to pay for food. We need to do all these things. And we want to go on vacations. We want to buy things we like, of course. But it doesn't guide everything I do. It's a byproduct of what I enjoy doing. But it's still in my top 3, which means I don't have an income ceiling. If I want to make more money, I can make more money. If we need to get something, or if we need to pay something off and I need a few $1,000s, I can work to do that, rather than just waiting and getting the same paycheck over and over and over again. The harder I work, the more money I make. The more people I serve, the more money I make. The better I make other people's lives, the more money I make. Family, freedom, finances. So that's my why, summed up in 3 core principles of why I do what I do. So I see that you're sharing this in the comments. I want to hear more of it. Feel free to throw it out there. Now, I want to say, everyone who's sharing their why, or if you're just thinking about it and keeping it to yourself, write it down somewhere. Whether you want to share it publicly or put it on your desk, keep it somewhere where you will be constantly reminded. Because you need, when times are hard, when you're pushing yourself and things aren't just aren't working, remind yourself of why you're doing this in the first place, why you're taking the risk, why you're taking the leap, why you are challenging yourself, challenging your beliefs and what other people think that you should be doing. Remember that why. Do not forget it. That is going to be a guiding principle for you as you move forward in your journey to success as a freelancer. Wow. Okay. So I already see people sharing like wild in the comments. What is your why? How do you keep the fire lit under your butt? Let's see. Someone says, I want to be my own boss and do whatever I like whenever I want. Dana was able to take care of her dad who had cancer and unfortunately passed away, but was able to spend time. So freedom and flexibility of time to spend with people you love, your children, your parents, friends, family. Aaron desires to be able to allow his wife to leave her job so they can all be together at the same time. JM says, definitely finances, so I can start my own family and have the time to be there for them. JM, you're in the right place and with the right people. Dana, I wasn't able to find an official answer on their website. Sorry, I have a different comment. Alea, freedom and family and finances, being able to have more control over my life. Let me see. Somebody here in YouTube, Mohammed says, I believe my ideas and goals, and it's not possible to achieve them by working for others. So working for yourself is the way to go. Adam, I chose freelancing for medical reasons. Now that I know the value of it, I wouldn't go back if I could. That's amazing that you say that, Adam, actually. Quick little story about me. A couple years ago, having lower back issues, thought it was just, chiropractic stuff that I needed to get it fixed and it wouldn't go away. Long story short, after a bunch of x-rays and, all these other different kind of medical things, I was under the impression that I had a disease called ankylosing spondylitis, which is essentially your spine fusing together over time. Basically like an arthritic condition that fuses your spine together. I literally thought that I had that. Doctors told me that that's what I had, and I was super discouraged by it. But because of freelancing and working for myself, I was able to go to the city to get the x-rays and to do the scans and everything like that, go to the specialists, take time off work to go to the massage, chiropractors, physical therapists, personal training. I did all these things. Long story short, I found out that it is not any of that. I don't have, ankylosing spondylitis. I have a herniated disc in my low back. Very common for young males. Some of you guys in here might even have a herniated disc or know somebody with a herniated disc. The good news is I'm celebrating because I don't have a disease that fuses my spine together. And yeah, I have low back pain, and I actually have an issue right now. My back hurts, but I don't have a disease. So I'm grateful. And because I work from home, I get to take a break. After this, I'm going to go probably jump in the hot tub to relax my back, hang upside down on the inversion table. I got a chiropractic appointment in 2 hours. I get the flexibility. I get to do that. So yeah, if you have any sort of medical issue or disability, working for yourself makes it even better. In terms of your flexibility and freedom. Yeah, the finance part, you got to figure that part out. But if you can work yourself up to that, if you can take charge of yourself and start taking the steps to building your business, then you're going to be well off to way more freedom than you could have ever imagined. Let's see here. We got Alea in the comments here in Facebook. We all need to be reminded of our why when going through the journey. The destination makes it all worth it. And we got people sharing their whys everywhere. So I really appreciate you guys sharing everything. That personal piece about you. Don't forget it. Write it down, put it on a piece of paper, on your screensaver, on your desktop, whatever you got to do, put it up somewhere you're always going to see it. Tell Siri, remind me every day, and then tell her your why or what you need to be reminded of, and never forget it, because that's what's going to help get you through difficult times, struggles, stresses. You need to have a brighter outlook and a positive feeling about why you're doing this, because even what I'm doing, I get stressed. I get lots of things that happen, and sometimes things don't work out, or I get, something goes awry, or I get an angry client or an angry customer. If I'm staying in those little details, I can easily get frustrated and lost and upset and stressed. But if I step back and say, oh, it's because of my children. It's because I get to go and take a random Tuesday off to go camping, or it's a beautiful day out and we want to go check out the waterfall, or go for a bike ride because my children just learned how to bike and I just want to go biking with them, and I don't care about work today because biking is more important. That's why. And also when you get your income on any given day, or you book clients and you get paid, that feels good. You get to start paying off your mortgage faster, or you get to do this, that, and the other thing. You feel like you're earning your own money and you're making your own way. That's great, right? So with that said, I told you at the beginning of this, I have something to tell you about. I have an offer for those of you who are interested. And I got your permission to let you know, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time here, and I strongly encourage you to listen up, because I think that this, for many of you here, will be your key and your next step, how to take everything you've learned and put it into action. So let's do this. So we just covered a ton of ground, the 8 steps to getting fully booked as a freelancer. I hope you've been taking notes, and I hope so far this has been valuable to you. We covered how to start today, what your client actually needs, how to be world-class in one thing, the BBQ method, a stupid simple pricing strategy, building a bridge, the E.D.A formula for scaling, and the secret to keeping the fire lit under your ass. So I know that this is a lot, and I'm so grateful that you've been sticking around to learn everything that I have to show you today. So I have a question. I have a question for everybody here. Why did you show up? I want to know why you showed up today. Let me know if any of these in the 5-item list resonate with you. Maybe you have no freelancing experience and you have no idea where to start. Maybe you're nervous to start because you're afraid you're forgetting something. Maybe you're not confident in your skills and you feel like they're not worthy to charge somebody for. maybe you're introverted and feel it holds you back from getting started. And number 5, maybe you're super busy and you don't know how to fit freelancing around your schedule. Let me know if any of those resonate, if one specific one stands out, or maybe a combination, or maybe all of them. I want to see it in the comments. Let me know. I'm watching those comments there. So far, you have the 8 steps to get fully booked as a freelancer. But what if you need that extra help, that extra coaching, that hand-holding, the accountability to put those steps into action? Well, this is why I want to let you know about Freelancing Freedom Masterclass. It's my signature course, completely rebranded and better than ever. It's a masterclass for web developers and web designers who want to launch and grow a profitable freelance business. It all boils down to a simple 3-step system. Step 1 is the training. We have 50 videos, 11 printable workbooks with over 100 pages, live group coaching. We call them hot seats, and we get all of our freelancers together in a live coaching call, and we get one freelancer who is willing to jump up on the screen, and we dive into their business, their issues, their problems, any questions. People are free to jump in, ask questions, share their expertise, their thoughts. We also do regular live workshops and challenges. So the training is a set of core videos, 50 of them in fact, over 11 modules that help you to plan, launch, and grow a successful and profitable freelance business. You could see here the 11 modules: getting started, your niche, portfolio, pricing, finding clients, booking clients part 2, onboarding, planning projects, business management, and income consistency. So these are the core video modules with 50 videos. This is a living and breathing training program. Also, to stick with my own personal style, I like to let my personality come through in the videos and the training and the entire experience. And some of you might even know that I don't take myself that seriously in my videos. I like to let my personality come through and make some jokes and be a little bit weird. And I think that that helps people relax so that they feel a little bit more comfortable, like they have a friend helping them through this entire journey. So I just want to show you a quick little clip from one of the videos in the course, just to give you an idea of what you might expect with some of the videos. You see, not all feedback is good feedback. If you don't give your client guidelines on how to give good feedback, you'll always end up making the logo bigger. And you'll waste time on non-important details like making things stand out, adding more color, and slowly but steadily, you'll be bled dry of your professional expertise. Some examples of bad feedback would be, this should pop more. Can we change the button color? Let's rearrange the navigation bar. Can we add some flashy graphics? How about we throw in like a soundtrack in the background? Can we add some sound in the background? I mean, I was just on a vacation, and they have this beautiful instrument that makes sounds, and I just want to put some in the background there. Can we just do that? Can we do something like this? No, you cannot. Well, I broke it. Remind them of the goals of the project and how your design decisions help get them closer to their goals. Yes, much better. Which brings me to the second part of the system. Accountability. Accountability is everything. I can give you all the best videos and everything that I think is great training, but it will just sit on the shelf somewhere in your hard drive, gathering dust and clogging up your hard drive or your web browser, and you'll never get to it. I see it all the time. I even do it with some courses. You get excited, you join up, but you don't do anything with it, which is why I have accountability. It's a huge part of it. We have a private mastermind of over 200 people in Freelancing Freedom, and they're your freelancing family. We do regular email check-ins. You have access to myself and my team. You get a Slack workspace and a Facebook group. You could join both or one or the other, whatever your personal preference is. And myself and my team, we check in with you, even other freelancers. We have freelancers who are veterans in this course, and they almost feel like they're a part of the team as well. And you can look to them for advice and guidance. So accountability is incredibly important to make sure that you personally on your own unique journey are actually getting something out of the course. And finally, step number 3 is resources. So I've put together what I call the new Freelancer Toolkit. It has everything from email scripts to workflows to checklists to fill in the blank, scripts that you can use for communicating with clients, for setting up email sequences if you want to use automation, a list of all of the job boards that you could be checking out to be getting your first, second, or third client, or if you need to fill in the gaps with some extra side contract work, those job boards are there for you. Software suggestions, a list of all the tools, books, and resources that I personally use, and so much more. So altogether, step 1, the training. Step 2, the accountability, and step 3, the resources. Students in the course actually see results. You might be asking, does this course actually work, or is it just another online course? This, for me, is my baby. This course, like I said, is my signature masterclass, and my students actually see results. This course has been out for a few years now, actually, which blows my mind, and people see results. They send emails, they send me messages, and they let me know, wow, I did this thing you said, I tried this exercise, I did that challenge, I watched that module, and this happened. To the tune of real clients. But don't take my word for it. Here's what some of the students have to say.
Hi, I'm Brent Bird, and I run a freelance business out of Sandy, Utah called 279 Design.
I'm Sean Mitchell, and I run a freelance web development business in rural Nebraska, USA called Citizen Pixel Web Solutions at citizenpixel.com.
My name is Mark Gorman and live in Scotland in the UK.
My name is Dan Horner, and I operate Horner Development out of Overland Park, Kansas.
Since I started freelancing, the biggest struggle that I faced was getting started.
Being completely clueless about running a business.
I'm 52 years of age.
I'm trying to get ready for when I transition out of the corporate world and launch what I'll call my encore career.
I had to overcome a lot of fear, a lot of personal doubts.
I had no idea about contracts or financials or finding new leads or anything like that.
Well, I needed a coach. I needed someone to get me started in the right direction.
Since I started Freelancing Freedom course, I have been able to overcome a lot of those struggles.
By learning about how to find new clients and how to manage my business.
And since joining the Freelancing Freedom course, I've had 3 paying clients.
I've been able to use the trainings within the course to find clients and to begin to build my business.
Actually, I've booked 5 or 6 different clients now, and I've made almost $10,000.
And I've booked 2 clients, and I've earned $1,000 since I joined the course.
It's not an easy course, but if you're prepared to put the time and effort in, you will see results.
So regardless of your motivation for wanting to become a freelancer, I'd like to encourage you to let Brad guide you along that journey.
Thanks to the Freelancing Freedom course, I have confidence in knowing that I can do that.
I know it's helping me. I certainly would hope that it would help you.
I'm excited to see what happens.
Best of luck to you in your freelancing career.
Hope to see you there soon.
So you could see people like Bao, a recent student, has made over $10,000 since joining the course. Jamie, Brent, both $9,000 and $10,000. Cindy, 7 clients. Cindy is awesome. She's a graphic designer who booked 7 clients since joining, and probably more now at this point. Chad, Mark, all these people from all over the world of all different walks of life. Terry, a new dad, who's been really, really working his butt off to freelance, and he's been doing awesome. And these are just a handful of students in the course who have been seeing results and who have spoken up and shared that they have been knocking it out of the park. We're here for you, and I want to see you as a success story on this screen right here. So officially, the Freelancing Freedom Masterclass doors are open, and they are closing tonight at midnight. And you can check it out at freelancingfreedom.com to get all of the information, read through the entire page, watch the video, and see if it is a fit for you. I'm confident that if you are still here, that you are curious about it, that you might be a perfect fit. So go ahead, freelancingfreedom.com, and read through that. So we have 2 options. We have Masterclass and Masterclass Plus. Masterclass is the video training, the workbooks, the toolkit, the mastermind, and the hot seats. Everything that I just talked to you about, the step 1, 2, and 3, everything you just saw is yours in Masterclass. Masterclass Plus is everything in Masterclass plus personal portfolio teardown, plus access to the replays of the videos of other people's portfolios I've torn down. real-time freelancing job board. So that list of job boards in the PDF that I told you about will have an interactive real-time job board that updates every single day with dozens of new jobs for freelancers, for designers and developers alike within the course. You can go in and you can look and you can say, look, there's someone who needs a graphic designer for a freelance job, for a contract. There are dozens of jobs that get posted daily. So you'll have access to that right within the course. Also, you get 2 private coaching calls with me. So if you want extra accountability, if you want me to check in with you, if you want to book a time with me on your own schedule, we'll coordinate times automatically. I use Calendly so you can see the times I'm available to chat. We'll jump on and we'll chat. I've talked to a good majority of the students in the course personally, and I want to be able to have private coaching with you. If you feel like that's something that's going to benefit you, then Masterclass Plus is a good option for you. Now again, the pricing. How does this work? The base package, Masterclass, is 4 installments of $159. Or you could save some cash up front and pay once for $595. Masterclass Plus, 4 installments of $249, or pay once $895. But I'd like to incentivize you live attendees, for the people who are here today. I want to give you 25% off if you use the code FINALDAY, which effectively brings both of these packages down quite a bit. So Masterclass is now 4 installments of $120, or you could pay once for $447. And then if you want to join Masterclass Plus, that brings it down to 4 installments of $187, or pay once for $672. That final day discount goes away tonight when the doors to Freelancing Freedom Masterclass officially close. So this is your last call to join the course and use this discount as well. And if you're sitting on the fence, now's the time to jump in. freelancingfreedom.com, read the page, choose the package you want, and use the code EARLYBIRD. I also want to make sure that you know that I'm completely transparent and honest, and I do this to help you. I've done my best to take out the risk for you. I have a 30-day refund policy, no questions asked. So if any point within the first 30 days you join up, you realize, not for me, for any reason, you don't even have to tell us. Email us, we will refund your money. Done. Easy. But I've added something else. I have what's called the 180-day first paying client guarantee, which means if you do the work, you make an honest attempt, and you actually try what the course is saying, and you do what I'm trying to tell you to do, and you don't have your first or next paying client within 180 days of joining, you get your money back, plus you keep the course. Now, to be completely honest, this isn't an extended refund window. Don't think that you have 180 days to just send me an email and say, hey, I think I did the work, but you don't have a client for me, so I'm out. Peace. Not happening that way. You actually have to try. So I'm incentivizing hard work here, and if it's not working for you, I've failed you, and that's why I have this in place. So there's zero risk for you. To join the course, all you got to do right now is go freelancingfreedom.com/join, and that will take you to a simplified page where you can see both Masterclass packages. The first one here is package 1. If you scroll down just a little bit, you see the 2 big circles that you can click on to check out. The first one, the yellow one, is to join with 4 payments. If you want to do that, just simply click on that. And that will take you directly to checkout, where you can see your order summary right here. So we have the payment plan of Masterclass. Hit add coupon, type in your code. Your discount will be applied, bringing our payments down to about $120. For your account information, all you have to do is enter your email address right here, and then click I agree to receive instructional and promotional emails. Below that is your payment information. Enter your credit card details here, and then click I agree to the terms of use and privacy policy, and then go ahead and click enroll in course. Do the same process for the single payment plan. Now, if you want to join the Masterclass Plus option, package 2, scroll down just a little bit more, and you will see the details here with the same setup. The 2 buttons, the yellow one and the black one. The yellow one is the payment plan. The black one is the single payment option. I'm going to go ahead and click the payment plan. Again, that'll take you directly to checkout. You can review your order summary right here. We have Masterclass Plus payment plan with your details. Hit add coupon, type in your coupon code, hit apply. Your discount will be applied, and now our payments for Masterclass Plus are down to about $186. Account information, simply add email address, and then I agree to receive instructional and promotional emails. And then your payment information is below. Fill that out, hit I agree to the terms of use, and then enroll in course, and that is it. Mere seconds after hitting that yellow button to enroll, you get a happy welcome email from me and my team where you will then be taken directly to your dashboard. You can see your courses there. Right here we have Freelancing Freedom Masterclass. Go ahead, click on that. That'll take you directly to your class curriculum where you can go ahead and get started with the lectures. All right, I am very excited for this. Final day for Freelancing Freedom Masterclass. Doors are open and available for you guys to hop on in there. I hope that you can see the value in what I'm doing here. I'm giving you the majority of what I have for free so that I could show you, one, I know what I'm talking about. Two, it actually works. We have people here in the chat box right now who are a part of this community, and it's the final day. I'm giving you a discount. We have the 180-day first client guarantee. It's all in place. I'm honest and transparent, and I'm upfront. Yes, this is my business. This is my bridge, which has grown because it resonates with people, and because I feel like I have value to share, and I'm just sharing what I'm doing, what I've done, what works, what doesn't work, and I've packaged it up and built a massive community around it to help you skip all the stuff that I wish I could have skipped. And if I were to do all this over again, and if I were to do it differently, I would want this exact course. I didn't have this. I was all alone doing it myself. I had no freelancer friends. I had no freelancer community. And the people at my old job, they didn't get what I was doing and why I was doing it. It made more sense to be an employee and to do what's expected of you versus go out on your own and do your own thing. So I wish I would have had this when I started. And I know that many of you are on a similar path, and you are here because you want to figure out that formula and the steps, and you want to have the accountability and the training and the resources, all the things that I simply wish I would have had. I put together and crafted and have fine-tuned, and I'm continually updating and changing this experience. So doors are open. The details are right there, freelancingfreedom.com/join if you want to go straight and choose the package. Final day coupon code, 25% off any package. So with that said, I want to jump into some Q&A here in the questions and answers, and I'll do my best to answer as many as possible. And if you have any questions about the course, about freelancing, throw them up in there and I'll do my best to answer them. So Rochelle says, I'm looking at local small businesses for my clients. What's the best way to introduce myself and my development services? Good question. First of all, I'm hoping that the training so far in the webinar has helped answer that question either in part or in whole. But just to kind of reiterate, it's not just about walking up and cold converting. Yes, some businesses that's the way it works, and the way you get clients is just simply by volume, by how many people you talk to, how many people you call, how many people you meet. I get people knocking on my door all the time, asking to wash my windows or repaint my garage doors or do my lawn. They'll knock on the door, they'll step back a bit and they'll say, hey, it looks like, you've got a lot of windows and yada, 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 yada. And they'll do their cold pitch, and I get what it is. And I, as a business owner, I appreciate it. I give them time to chat. And if I'm not interested, then I'll say, hey, I appreciate what you're doing, but I'm going to pass. No thanks. Or, I'll say, yeah, give me a quote. I don't want to wash my own windows. You can do it for me. Just let me know how much. And do I value that time? So I'm kind of getting off on a tangent here. My point is you can introduce yourself as, hi, my name is Rochelle. I'm a local business owner. Here's what I do. But if they feel it's a pitch, then you're, one, eliminating the chances of building a relationship with them because your first interaction was, I'm looking to get money from you, versus I'm interested in you and what you do because I'm passionate about the business that you are in. I'm passionate about local small businesses. I'm a warrior for local small businesses, and I want to know about you. I want to learn about you, and I love your business myself. So leading with that establishes trust and more comfort. And when it gets to the point when you start to understand what they struggle with, then you can then let them know about what you do and introduce yourself in a little bit more of a professional way. Here's the thing though. The more you build relationships, the more you learn about these people and what they struggle with, the more you can assume certain things about that niche. So let's say you've done the BBQ method and you understand patterns. You know that local coffee shops struggle with the exact same things. It's then easier for you to have a quicker, more impactful business conversation. If you're at a conference with local business owners and you happen to be talking to a coffee shop or a sandwich shop or a small restaurant, you go, you know what? Isn't it frustrating when this happens? Then they'll say, yeah, it's like you're reading my mind. How do you know that? You'd be like, well, I actually have a lot of friends who are in the coffee shop industry, and I help those coffee shop owners get past that roadblock that you're struggling with. If you want to chat about it a little bit more, here's my, can I get your card? And then instead of you giving a card and waiting for them to call, hint, they won't, ask for their card. Can I get a card? And then you give them a call. So I'm hoping these are some ideas there, Rochelle, and also in combination with what we're talking about in the workshop. In the Freelancing Freedom Masterclass, this sort of topic is something we dive deep into in the training, and also it's a conversation that can be fostered in the community as well. Let's see. Matt says, Heinrich, this is a good gatekeeper to ensure quality. I went out and busted my ass to raise the money for this course. I did things unrelated to freelancing. I worked hard in the sun for a few days, and now here I am about to buy the course, stop making excuses and get to work. Matt, holy crap. Amen to that. I love that. Here's the thing. I do this because I love helping people. And when I see that people are working their butts off, seeing results, and they can tie it back to something that I said, a lesson that I shared with them, a video that I recorded, or an entire course, or a script, or anything. And they say, Brad, you did this thing for me. First of all, it blows my mind, and I'm addicted to that, hearing that. It's amazing. It makes me want to be even better and better. But I'm just giving you what I can do. I'm giving you my best so that you can do what you do even better. So, Matt, I know Brad put in the work to make the course that I did have to buy it. I bought $10 classes on his Udemy courses, and I've made thousands. Buy one of those instead. Yeah, if here's the deal. This course isn't for everybody. I'm not expecting or even hoping that everybody here buys the course, because that's going to be a pain in my butt. Because what's going to happen is we're going to have people who are not a fit, who are not ready, who are too worried about X, Y, and Z, and they're going to be flooding my inbox and wasting my time with me going and trying to refund a whole bunch of people. Not interested. I would like to keep my refund rate to 0. I understand some people, certain things come up. That's why I have the 30-day money back and the 180-day first client. It's to protect you and your investment, and it's also to protect me and say, hey, if you're in it to win it, I expect you to show up. I said it earlier, show me the money or I'll show you the door. It sounds a little harsh. I'm doing a free training here so you can get as much value as possible. If the course isn't for you, it's okay. I'm hoping that what I gave you here was enough for you to get started on your journey. But this course isn't for everybody, and I do not expect you to join if you feel like it's not for you. That said, if you're uncomfortable, but you feel like it is for you, I challenge you to take that risk. Because, like I said, the risk, unless it's going to make you lose your house, don't do that. If you're in major credit card debt or something, I'm not interested. Solve that problem first. But if you're uncomfortable and you feel like this is a good step for you, I'm eliminating as much risk as I possibly can. And if I can get people clients here on a live webinar, if I can get people leads, if I can push people to start their business today for free, just imagine what's behind a small paywall. I'm not looking to get you one client that pays for the course. I'm looking to get you to build a frickin' business so that you can say, oh, wow, that small investment I made at the beginning seems so big, but is so insignificant compared to what I've been able to do as a result. That said, let's move on. Aaron, so when it comes to pricing packages, how do you prevent scope creep? You're in the middle of package A for $1,500 and the client needs change and now needs more work. In your contract, in your agreement, in your writing, you say, I understand things might be outside of the scope of this package. That's totally okay. And we encourage, adding things here and there that help you and your business. But that does come with a cost. What I have said in the past is, if you need anything outside of the scope of this package, we'll bill you at $100 an hour for that work. Or you can package your extra work. You could say, we can put together a custom package for these things. So if they say, oh, I need X, Y, and Z, You say, not a problem. We can do that. How much of a priority is that for you? We can put it in the line right away. And it's going to be an extra $650. Don't question it. Approach it as, oh yeah, sure. If you have someone mowing your lawn and you agreed for them to just mow your lawn, and then you're looking and you're like, oh, they're really good. And I kind of like not mowing my lawn. It'd be nice if they could trim that big ass tree I have out front. Are you going to expect they're going to trim the tree for free? No, you're an idiot for thinking that. You're going to say, hey, I would love if you could do the trees as well. I kind of want to upgrade what I'm doing. So can you do the trees and then trim around the driveway and then maybe clean up all the leaves? How much is that going to be? They go, no problem. It's going to be an extra $500 or $200 or whatever that going rate is. And you say, cool, that's worth it for me. I'm in. Do that. Hope that answers your question, Aaron. Matt, if you can get one client to pay for the course, you can get 100 to pay for a better life. Couldn't have said it better myself. That is amazing. I love it. Shad says, I understand that you're based in Canada as a fellow Canadian. How's it going? I was wondering if you could provide any tips and tricks on finding clients locally alongside with asking friends and family on social media. Well, I'm hoping that the training in this webinar helped answer that question. Again, I do anticipate these questions and I build it into the education pieces, but the principles are the same. You know, if you're in North America, if you're in Europe, the UK, it's all generally the same. Australia, you know, most of us here are in the Americas or European Union. It's about building relationships. The tips and tricks are kind of just, there's no secret. It's just you start talking to people. You be normal. You know, go to the coffee shop. The challenge I gave for you earlier, that little challenge, I don't know if you caught it. Next time you go to a coffee shop, when you go to your local coffee shop today or sandwich shop or the dentist or anything like that, you actually go to a lot of businesses that you're not even consciously aware of. And then you just have your transaction. You buy your coffee and you walk out. Ask them, how's business today? You know, and see what comes of it. Just do that. Be the one who goes first. Be the one who asks first. Be interested in them. Start there. It works in Canada. It works in the United States. It works in the United Kingdom. It works anywhere because people are people. And low and slow is the key. Let's see. Shad, yes, there will be a replay until midnight tonight when the course closes. Let's see. A question from Aaron again. Question: what is the likeliness offering an upgrade package for the Essentials to the Masterclass? Looks like Aaliyah got you covered there, Aaron. So I'll spare the details on that. Basically, if you're an Essentials student, you'll know what that is. If you're a Freelancing Freedom Essentials student, we do have an upgrade package for you if you want. So just hit us up with a message. We got Alejandro says, what do you think about searching local businesses' websites to see if they need you? Great. Do all the things you can to try and build a list of people you should be building relationships with. Find out all the local businesses in your category, in your niche, whether broad or narrow, and write them out and find out how you can meet with them. Go buy something. That's even better, because if you go and you try and pitch them, they're going to see you as someone who's just looking for money, and you're going to get a no most of the time. But if you see that the local chiropractor, or maybe it's a sandwich shop or a restaurant, if they're looking like they could have a better marketing branding strategy, go be a customer. Start by buying their things, and then be the guy or the girl who talks to them and say, hey, when did you start this up? I love your tacos. These tacos are great. Or that was the best massage ever. Can I book you again? Whatever, right? Chiropractor, man, you really helped solve my low back issue today. Really appreciate that. When did you guys start up? See, you start that way. So searching for websites is not a way for you to say your website sucks, give me money and I'll fix it. You're never going to book it that way. But you can see, oh, they might be hurting a little bit and I can help them. But I'm not going to go in and say, I'm going to help you fix your problem, because they're going to be offended. But if you're going in, building a relationship, doing the BBQ method, and then it comes around that, you know what, they could really use some marketing help and you're the marketing person, made in the shade. All right. Franco says, hey, Brad, do you have a template for contracts to give to potential clients? I can do you one better. Check out hellobonsai.com. And that is a great website for contracts that you choose your country It gives you the template, you fill in the blanks, and it automatically generates a contract for you. And I've been using that. It's so great. You do e-signing. It tracks the IP. It's great. So check that out. Franco, hi Brad, what are your thoughts on designers starting to freelance via using recruitment agencies for contracting? I don't really have much of an opinion on that because it's not really in my wheelhouse. Partly because I don't need to use it. And most of my students and the people in the community don't necessarily talk about that much. I prefer, like I said, maybe call me old-fashioned, the old-fashioned business model of building relationships. It always comes back to the BBQ method, folks. So yeah, you can use different methods and different strategies for attracting new clients and business, of course. But it will always come down to communication and building relationships. Sorry if that was a boring answer. Okay. Aaron, okay, Brad, I think you're the perfect example of a bridge builder. I aspire to build bridges like yours. How can you test the success rate of a bridge idea? Good question. Well, money talks. I would love if I just left the answer there. Money talks. Just kidding. But it does. Money talks. So cold hard cash. That's a great way to validate it. So if you come up with a bridge idea and you start to see, let's say you have 2 bridge ideas and you're going to test them with your clients. When you finish with a client, you have like an offboarding or like a goodbye packet with giving them all the information, but you offer them a maintenance package. Maybe you're offering them a security maintenance package for security for their WordPress websites. And for other people, you're offering a monthly design, tweaks and branding package where you can always keep their graphics up to date or whatever sort of thing you want to test, and see if you're testing these offers over the course of a few months, maybe a year or whatever. You have a few things, you're testing it out, and you realize nobody cares about the design tweaks, but people really seem to care about the security part. Okay, go with that. And then test that. How can you change the wording? How can you test that product? If you're offering a road mapping session and you're charging like 10% of your full pay project, let's say it's $200 for a road mapping session to figure out if you guys are a fit and if you can give them some steps, and you realize that's converting really well, but getting people to pay for a full service website out the gate doesn't work. Or if you have a course or a tutorial or an ebook and that's working better, it's all about literally who's buying it and if it's working, if people are resonating with it, if they're asking questions, and if it solves the problem. So put yourself in their shoes. Are you solving their problem? Are you making the solution even better and getting it done quicker by creating a bridge? Or are you just making more noise and making it harder for them to choose? Alea's given some resources in there. Greg, thanks for linking up Hello Bonsai. Alea's got resources there, Dubsado and .co. Those are great. Docracy.com. Let's see. Matt says, when I first started out, I actually reached out to other freelancers who were too overloaded to do the work themselves, but couldn't afford an employee. I have learned a ton and still work with some of them. Matt, that's a great strategy. I love that strategy. We actually talk about that quite a bit in Freelancing Freedom Masterclass. And hey, like I said, we have 200 plus, I think 220, the number is slipping my mind right now. Well over 200. We're scratching 250 at this point, maybe even 300 at this point after this launch. People in the community who are freelancers, web designers, web developers, graphic designers. There's a lot of cross-pollination happening there. If you're struggling with this and you need a designer, I've got a lot of them for you. If you're a coder, if you're a designer and you need a coder, we can partner you up. Like, we've got the community for you. We're all in the same boat. We can help facilitate that. And that's happened a number of times. We have people within the community building a team together. So it's not just a course. It's not just I filmed some funny videos that happen to be valuable and informational. It's a community. It's resources. It's interaction. It's accountability. It's living and breathing. It's kind of a lifeline, a freelancing lifeline. So I like that strategy there, Matt. Thank you for sharing that. Let me see. Mate says, I'm passionate about photography. What do you think about photography and 360 virtual walks as a side bridge for web developer? It's a little bit unrelated unless your web development, this is where I say, if you're a web developer freelancer, what are you actually doing? You're a freelancer, you're a business owner who uses web development to solve what problem? Now, maybe photography is a part of that package. You do a whole branding package, like Aaron has a brand identity. There are some people who when they do your branding and they start up a brand new site for a new client, they need to take photos of their team and their space and the space around them. And maybe photography is a part of an upgrade package you have. I've offered the same thing. My wife is a professional photographer, and I've in my proposal said, package A is this, the website, this, that, and the other thing. Package B is the website, extra branding resources, and we'll do all your professional photography on site. And it's an extra $1,500 or whatever. So yeah, you could definitely do that as a side bridge, but it depends on what your business is. If you're creating WordPress websites for dentists and, that are remote, or you're selling like a course that way, and then you do photography, pictures of somebody, it could be confusing. So as long as they are complementary. Let me see. Cool. These are great questions. Matt, you value what you pay for. Yes. Alea says Freelancing Freedom Masterclass has 278 people. That's 278 people automatically you can network with. You don't even have to feel weird about it. They're expecting you. We have people there. They know you're coming. I've been doing this for maybe about 2.5 years now. And there's a lot of people in there. And some of those people in that video you just saw, that testimonial video, are some of the original Freelancing Freedom course students. And they are wise. And it's great to have them on board. So with every new group, it's kind of like you get a new group of people, fresh blood coming in, fresh freelancers. We don't have any weird initiations. We just welcome you with a bunch of love. And we'd be so happy to have you on board. So it's not just me. It's me and Alea and 276 others that always grows. So they're there for you. Marielle, just a little bit worried because I was saving to buy a car for convenience going to my work right now. But instead, I was planning to invest in Brad's course, get a better work that I'm currently working on now. That's the thing. I'm not asking anyone to put themselves in financial ruin. If that is where you're thinking, don't do it. I have free stuff for you. I have free gifts for you after this. I'm hoping these 2.5 hours were valuable to you. But if it's just something, it makes you uncomfortable because it's a bigger purchase for you, but you know that there's value. You know that $250 or that $100 and the payment plans they're cheaper now with the discount. You know that payment leads to something bigger so that you can change something. You have to see it as an investment. I'm asking you not to see this as an expense. I'm asking you to see this as an investment. Now, here is how you know, I'm going to say it right now, if this is for you. Ask yourself this very moment. When you join, if you click that green button below me and you see this as an expense, the course is not for you. Chances are you're going to ask me for a refund, you're going to feel uncomfortable, and you're not going to listen to what I have to say or heed the advice of 270 other people. However, if you see this as, okay, I'm uncomfortable, but this is clearly an investment in my future, in my business, in me getting clients, okay, the course is for you. And I put in place the guarantees, the refund policy. I'm putting the risk on my back. So it's up to you at this point. I've given you 2 hours and 42 minutes of my knowledge and expertise and what I feel like works really well and has been validated time and time again with the freelancers in the course. I've answered your questions, and it's really, the ball's in your court right now, and it's up to you. So if now's the time for you, it's a perfect time. It's the last day. We're closing down today at midnight, and we won't be opening up until Q4, so later in the year. So now's your chance. And if it's not the time for you, that's okay. It will come back around again later in the year. But if you're on the fence, final day coupon code, save you 25% on any package. Within minutes, you'll be joining the course. You'll be watching the videos. You'll be downloading the new Freelancer toolkit. You'll be welcomed with open arms with our great freelancing family. And I couldn't be more excited to have you on board. So with that said, I did promise you because I had you here for almost 2 hours and 45 minutes, free gifts. So here they are. I have a free tool called How Profitable is Your Freelance Niche? This is for all of you here who hung around with me, watching the replay, watching it live. This is for you for free. This tool I put together, it's a work in progress, and I improve it with your suggestions and your feedback. It helps you understand if your niche is profitable. And you can use this as many times as you want, whether you're in the course or you're not. If you have some niche ideas, this tool will help you figure out and workshop and cultivate some ideas to determine if you should or should not go in that direction. The other thing is the freelance product workbook. And that is just simply a nice little workbook that you can print out. You could do online to figure out if your bridge ideas are worth pursuing. Help you come up with some questions that maybe you didn't think of or know to ask to create a product or a service that will work for your freelance business, whether it's your primary offering or your secondary bridge. So these are there for you for free. Alea's going to throw the links up there in the chat box, and they're up here on the screen. It's very likely that you might break my website. I get a lot of traffic when I offer these, so we'll put the direct links up there too. And if for some reason you don't get around to getting this, just send us an email. We'll make sure you get these free gifts. So they are there for you. I'll give you one more second here just to write those down. And with that said, I want to thank everybody. I'm going to jump back here to the title. I want to thank everybody for coming. I genuinely appreciate your time. I'm honored that we had so many people here joining us. I hope this was valuable to you. I hope I get an email from you, whether or not you join Masterclass, saying, thank you, this helped. I tried this thing and it led to a client. I'm hoping that some of you who took this challenge see that this actually works. And if maybe you're on the fence about the course and you realize later tonight that the challenge is working, and you realize, okay, I'm wondering what's behind that, what's in that course, you have till midnight tonight. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for coming. I see, Matt, you said you have a suggestion. We'll take note of that. Thank you for that. Anyway, everybody, thank you. With that said, I appreciate you, and I want to close out with the last part of that inspirational little video we had at the very beginning of this webinar. So here we go. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you. You're the best. Have an awesome Monday. Happy freelancing. It's the ultimate freedom, and I want you to have the same. Which is why I created the Freelancing Freedom course. I've taken everything that I've learned over the years as a freelancer and packaged it in an implementation program that you can use to build a freelancing business from scratch with no clients and no experience. You're going to learn the things that I wish I had access to when I started out. And I'm going to answer everyone's number one question. How do I get clients? We'll dive into details like how to build a sales funnel for your freelance business, how to plan and deliver projects from beginning to end, on time and on budget. I'll show you how to nail client meetings, create multiple sources of steady income, and sell yourself, all without feeling sleazy. In addition to all that, you'll get access to the Freelancing Freedom Group, a private community of freelancers who will hold you accountable and where you can ask questions and share your ideas. To make sure nobody gets left behind, I'll be hosting live Q&A sessions every month to answer all of the freelancing questions you have on your mind. You're going to get the new Freelancer Toolkit, a welcome package that's loaded with a ton of valuable worksheets, templates, and resources. It's everything you need to get your hands dirty before you even start the course. My life changed when I reflected on how I spent my time and who I spent it with. The weight of those questions redirected my life on a path that is more fulfilling and more amazing than I could have ever imagined. I want you to join me on this path. Take back your time, live the life you were meant to live, and build a successful freelancing business with me by your side. Enroll in the Freelancing Freedom course today, and let's get started.